What's up, fools? We have a new panel show that we're going to be doing here. This is the first one that we're doing. Today is 1/16/2026. It is 8:45 p.m. Today we're going to talk about ICE, immigration, and the Renee Good shooting. We're going to start off by introducing everybody. We got LonerBox here on the left with SoyPill. Both of them stream, I believe, on YouTube and Twitch. Is that correct?
I've moved away from Twitch, but for the most part, yeah.
Okay. And then we've got, is it Kungfu Joe? Where do you stream, Kungfu Joe?
I mostly stream on Twitch, but I'm currently suspended right at the moment. I'll be back in a week.
Glad we got that out right at the beginning. And then we got Grid1MotorSports. For those of you who were here just a couple months ago, he was the one who hosted the debate that I did with Rob Knorr in Tennessee. So that was a lot of fun. Appreciate you being here, Grid1MotorSports. You stream on YouTube as well, right?
Yeah, I actually stream on all platforms depending on the show that I'm doing.
For the first topic, on January 7th, Minneapolis resident named Renee Good was blocking the road with her car during an ICE raid and during protests when officers moved to detain her, and she was fatally shot as she attempted to flee. The discussion has been insanely partisan, and both sides seem to be really heated over this one. One side believes that this was murder. The other side believes this was fully justified. Grid1MotorSports, what was your thoughts on the confrontation?
I think it was the shooting was good, but there were some definitely some procedural sort of things that could have been handled a little better if I'm to armchair quarterback it. Of course, I wasn't there, so.
So what do you mean procedural issues? What do you think they could have done?
Well, I mean, well, first of all, I think I actually don't have that big a problem with him walking in front of the car because he was trying to get out of the way, and he didn't really have any reason to believe that she was going to skate off like she did. That part I don't really. That part's like the lesser of the evils. The biggest concern I had was that when his partner was confronting her, he was documenting everything, and I felt like he should have been kind of behind his partner, kind of in the position he ended up in, but I don't understand why he felt like he needed to document her license plate and all of that. Maybe that's a federal procedure, the way they do that, but that's really the only thing. I just I kind of didn't really understand why he took the time to walk around the vehicle and all of that.
LonerBox, did you have an issue with him standing in front of the vehicle the way he did?
Yeah, it was a moving car, whether it's reversing or not. I feel like when a car is on and it's moving, or whether it's reversing or not, I don't know. There's no good reason to stand in front of it. And it seemed like he was quite nonchalantly pacing quite slowly in front of it, even as she started reversing for the 3-point turn. So yeah, I have no idea why you would put yourself in that situation. We can go over some case law in relation to it as well, but as far as I know, it's easy. Throwing yourself in front of a moving car like that is just like a very, very stupid thing to do. And typically, the argument it seems to be the cop is making is that he was in fear for his life and he had to defend himself from the car. Well, if you're standing in front of a car and you think it's going to move towards you, 9mm is going to be a lot less reliable than stepping out of the way. So I don't know, dumb fuck. And obviously, if you watch the video and you see the like little whoa when he supposedly either lightly gets hit or bumps his phone or whatever else, and then he shoots her and says "fucking bitch" afterwards under his breath. It seems like I don't know. It seems like the car bumped him as she was getting away, and he just got angry, and that's why he shot. So, yeah, fucking quite mental.
Joe, did you think the shooting was justified?
Depends on what you mean by justified, because obviously we're going to be looking at it through two different lenses. We're going to look at it through a legal lens and a moral lens. I think legally, he's probably going to walk. Morally, though,
when you say legally he's probably
like,
going to walk, do you mean that you think it's legally justified? Like if he went to court, he's not going to have any issues? Or are you saying you don't think they're even going to investigate it to where he would ever go to court in the first place?
Well, what I'm just saying is like me not being a very legally minded person, I mean, I could very well be wrong, but just kind of from looking at it alone, I would bet my money that he would probably walk away from this without any kind of charges
If you went to court.
if he went to court.
Okay. And do you think he's going to go to court? Do you think they're going to actually take him to court?
Like I
at all?
said, I'm not very studious on like legal matters, especially I don't know if it's going to fall within like a state jurisdiction or like federal, like all those are details that I wouldn't be able to really tell you.
Do you think he's going to go to court, SoyPill?
That's entirely depends on whether or not the state decides to prosecute. I think if this is left to the federal government, they will do absolutely nothing. In their opinion, they can lie and say anything that he did was completely justified. They say, "Oh, he got ran over," which clearly didn't happen. If left to the DHS or anyone else, ICE, to investigate this internally, nothing's going to happen to him. If the state decides to independently prosecute, I think they have maybe a case. I think the ridiculous thing is like, there's maybe a case here where it's like, oh, maybe he was justified. But this is not what the narrative that is coming out from the right is. The narrative from the right is everything was 100% justified. You can clearly see it on video. This video exonerates him. In fact, he should have shot her more times. She had it coming. Fuck around and find out. No one is approaching this on the right from any amount of nuance. It is just completely lies from the administration. That's why Trump and Kristi Noem lied about it. I think if you watch the video, it's pretty clear that this guy was not in danger. If he has internal bleeding, as they've said, which is yet to be verified, I bet it was like a little bump. You can see that he does not get knocked over. He does not get forcefully pushed in any way. It looks like he has his arm on the car and is kind of slid back on the ice. I don't think anything here justified shooting her in the head. And this is all to say, sanity check, a car can absolutely kill you. And I've seen many videos of cops justifiably shooting unarmed people in cars. This did not look like one of them. And I think that people are saying otherwise are just incredibly partisan.
Grid, do you disagree with that?
I mean, yeah, I'd agree with that. I disagree with parts of it. Yeah, for sure. It looks like the officer's in the hospital right now with internal bleeding. So I'm not really, this
He's not in the
really
hospital.
touched him. Kind of rhetoric falls flat, I guess. But so I mean, I guess
Wait, Grid,
barely
he's
touch
not in
him
the
and-
hospital. Can we acknowledge that he's not in the hospital right now?
the last report I saw. Do you have one that's different? Because the last report I saw said that he was.
The last
still in-
report was when he went to the hospital, they reported he had internal bleeding. He is not still in the hospital 9 days later.
Sure. I don't actually follow his every move, so sure. Okay.
Okay,
fine.
well, this would be important information to know for this debate.
I don't. Honestly, it doesn't make a difference to my point.
It makes a huge
has-
difference.
he
If he was
has
still in the
he had
hospital, he
internal
would have
bleeding,
then
correct?
had
I
an
mean, are you
actual severe
disputing
injury.
that he had
and-
internal bleeding or no?
Just to be
Well,
clear,
he's
we
saying
agree- wait,
he's saying to the
just be
overall
clear,
conversation, it would be important to acknowledge that he's not currently in the hospital, because if he's still in the hospital over a week later, that would be a much more serious injury than it would have been if he just went to the hospital for an hour and left, right?
Yeah, can we just get a reminder as well that this was obviously, it was two anonymous officials who told this to CBS. We agree that like the wording there is, that's very broad. You know, a bruise is like internal bleeding, right?
Well,
Did you know that?
I
Or is
don't
that
I
news
don't
to you?
know because I wasn't there and I don't have that information, and neither do you.
Well, first of all, you said that he was still in hospital with internal bleeding, as if to make it sound he wasn't
Well,
just bumped. Do you think if he had suffered to any
But hold on.
serious degree, like
You
we wouldn't
literally
be hearing
said
the
that he
details of
barely
it?
even got hit, if he got hit at all. And
Right,
now you're going,
well, we're
well,
basing
even if
that
he
off of
did,
the
it's
video
internal
that we saw with
bleeding,
our
and who
eyes.
Yeah, it
cares? Could
doesn't
just
look
be a
like he got-
bruise, whatever.
Why does
Yeah, it
the
doesn't look
internal
like he got
bleeding matter?
hurt.
Why does that part
Yeah,
matter?
what?
Why does it matter?
So
Well,
as
because this
as
is
we
the
said, like as far as how
justification
why
serious
does
the
it
injury
matter?
is.
Because that's the justification used by the administration to say this man was severely hurt. That's what they imply by saying he suffered internal bleeding, as in he was justified for taking this woman's life because this could have been much worse for him. That is the implication by saying he has internal bleeding. I think if that is even true, it's probably a bruise, and if it's a bruise, it's because he had his hand on the car and got pushed a little out of the way, and maybe his phone hit it because he's resting his phone on the car hood. Yeah, like this is not like he got hit and spun out and his ribs are broken. Like the implication here is that he, like Trump and Kristi Noem said, he got run over, which didn't happen. This is a lie.
Do we agree that
I
with
just
that?
don't
Do we
know
agree
why-
that,
Hold on.
do we all agree that what
We
Trump
use the
said was a
term
lie?
"run over" when cars barely touch people. We still say, yeah, he got run over. He got hit by a
No,
car.
we don't.
No,
Run
no,
over
wait, wait, wait.
implies you
Trump
got
didn't-
like
Trump
Well,
didn't
hit
maybe
just
by
say
a
you
car.
don't, but colloquially, I know people that do. So I mean, you can say whatever you feel like colloquially, and I can say yes. We do use this type
Okay.
of language.
Grid, when you're in a parking lot and you back up and you accidentally ding a car, do you say, damn, I just ran over that car? Or do you say, oops, I bumped into that car?
It's a car. You can't go.
I would say I hit the
you can't
car.
go over a car.
Okay.
You
I
go
would
over a
literally
person,
say I
bro.
hit the car.
If you
I
bumped
wouldn't say I
if
bumped
you
the car. I would
bumped-
say, yeah, I hit
if
the
you-
car.
If you bumped your wife going 1 mile an hour, would you say, damn, I ran over my wife?
If I like knocked her down
Hold on.
in
No,
a
Yeah,
way,
if I
don't say
knocked
that.
her down,
You
I'd say,
bumped
yeah, I
her.
ran over my
Just like you
wife.
bumped her going 1 mile an hour. She did not get knocked down. Would you say this is running over your wife?
Maybe, I don't know. It would
Okay, the
depend on
answer
how
is
far
no,
she
because obviously
flew
she
afterwards,
wouldn't.
right?
She didn't fly at all.
Right. Well, I don't know.
Well,
Well,
But she
SoyPill.
was
Okay,
Let's say she
so
was still
hold on, wait,
standing
wait.
afterwards.
I
Hold
don't
on,
know because I've never hit my
the-
wife at 1 mile an hour.
Hold on one
so-
second. So the
Probably
car
faster.
touched him at some point. Yes,
Mhm,
SoyPill.
Yes, it looks like the car touched him. Now, whether or not this is because he leaned over onto the car or because the car, was still making the turn away from him, it's impossible for me to say. I mean, like, this is all just speculation based on what we see in the video. It does not look to me like this man was run over. 2, he was not knocked down, which a lot of people are saying, which is insane to me. Actually, Michael Knowles was claiming he was knocked down on Wednesday. And it's like he couldn't admit that this is just patently not true. But run over is like just false by every use of that word. I don't know how you could possibly
I just
say
don't.
run over.
I don't see why this matters at all. Soy, what do you think
It
he was
matters because
reacting
this is what
to?
the
Hold on,
admin
I
that
wanna-
is defending him is claiming.
Wait. I
But
just wanna-
that's
I
not.
wanna give- I'm
That's
gonna-
not.
hang on, I'm
You
gonna-
don't need
I'm
that.
gonna give
You
one-
don't need
hang
that
on.
defense.
Hey, I'm going to give one olive branch to the right wingers away from SoyPill. Yeah, if someone says hit by a car, that can range from like a slight bump to you just got like rammed at 100 miles an hour and every bone in your body is broken. Okay, I understand that. However, do we agree that saying that she violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense, and that based on the clip, it's hard
Well,
to believe he's
We
alive?
don't know. So, okay,
Is that a lie or
I'm not
no?
going to assign any motivation to her because I don't know what her motivation was. All we know is that her wife said, "Drive, baby, drive." Now that sounds like encouragement to flee. Okay, that does not sound like, "Hey, calmly drive away and avoid hitting the officer with the vehicle." That seems like
Precisely.
something that seems like an aggravated response. You can disagree, that's fine. We do
And
know that
go
that the
ahead.
vehicle hit him. We know that. That's not in dispute. You can keep saying it brushed him. You can say it teased his hair, whatever the fuck you want to say. The vehicle hit him. He felt in danger, and in that moment, he was in fact. I don't know how you guys are. I don't know what kind of mental cartwheels you're doing to say otherwise. He is absolutely justified to draw his weapon and end that threat. I'd honestly, it's insane to me that you're saying that you in that position that you would not do that same thing. Assuming
Well,
you had,
I wouldn't be in that position
I
because I
don't know.
wouldn't
You
step in
guys
front of
may
the
not.
car.
You
and I'm
mentioned
not
that.
doing
You
it.
mentioned
Wait,
like
wait,
mental.
wait,
You mentioned
Loner,
mental
That's the total
Loner,
cartwheels.
dodge.
can I
Hang
answer
on.
your
You
question?
mentioned. You mentioned
Loner,
mental
didn't answer your
cartwheels.
question.
What was my question? What did I ask you?
Yeah.
What did you ask me?
Yeah.
Well, I thought we'd already answered what I asked you, and I'd moved on.
No,
Well,
you
so what
did
did
ask
I
me
ask
again.
Well, he
I'll
said
answer
he
you.
wasn't going to make a statement as to her
Have you forgotten what I asked you?
motivation.
Yeah, I have. We moved on.
Oh, so you just rambled for like 30
No, I
seconds to a
didn't
minute,
ramble.
having no
I
fucking
assumed
idea what I just asked
I
you.
assumed that
You
we
just
had
ignored my
had
question.
answered
Am
the
I here
question
right now?
about
Am I a
if
human
the
being?
car had hit
Sorry, what the
somebody.
fuck?
I assumed that we had answered the question
it's
about
okay.
whether or not
Okay,
the
I'll
car had
ask you
hit
again.
somebody.
Okay, I will ask you again.
Sure.
I'm asking you if someone had said that what happened here was that she violently, willfully, and viciously ran him over, and that based on the clip, it's hard to believe he is alive. If someone said that, do you think that would be an accurate characterization of what happened?
Repeat that again, because
That's what mental
some
cartwheels
language
look.
in there.
If
There's some
anyone wants to
language
know
in there I
what
want to
mental
parse out.
cartwheels look like, yeah.
No.
So if someone had
There's
said
some language
that,
in there I want to parse out.
Wait, yeah,
if someone
Loner,
said that-
to be fair, Grid is really slow. I genuinely think he's processing this. You might have to repeat it.
If someone had said that she had willfully, violently, and viciously ran him over, and that based on the clip, it's hard to believe he is alive, would that be an accurate
Actually, I
characterization
agree
of
with
those
that.
clips or not?
I will agree with that. And this is why. And here's why. because
Okay.
she violently stepped on the accelerator and accelerated towards him. He had excellent reflexes. He didn't draw the weapon until the vehicle almost hit him, and he shot. He had about 0.2 second splits between shots, which was awesome. That's amazing. I know you don't understand how good that is, but that's fucking great. And he hit. So all of those things, yeah. He's very fortunate to be alive. I will go to that hill. Yeah.
Based on the
absolutely.
clips, it's hard to believe he's alive. Yeah. Okay.
It is. It's actually hard to believe because he
Well,
could
How
have
many
stood
near
there
death
and let her run
experiences have you
his.
just like
Had
You know,
literally
it's really
walked
funny,
on?
like,
had he just stood there like you guys are suggesting, he'd have been run over completely.
I'm sorry. When did we say he should just stand there? We said he shouldn't
Well,
have been
I'm
in front
sorry.
of the car.
What's your
well,
your
he
guys'
seemed to
preferred
believe he should
response?
stand there because he
What
was
would have been the
casually.
perfect response for you guys?
Well,
I'm dying to hear
okay.
you.
The ICE officers
Hold
seemed to
on.
believe that he could just nonchalantly pace in front of the car when it's moving. So he made that decision
He didn't
himself.
nonchalantly pace. He
Yes,
moved
he
to help his
was.
Well,
partner
you
who was
literally
attempting to
said he
get the woman
nonchalantly
out
No,
of
he
the
went
car.
around the
Hey,
car.
This is how
around
you
the front, and he was
mischaracterize
pacing.
things
guys-
all the
He
time.
stopped to
He
draw his gun.
literally
He could
was
have kept taking
moving
another step, and he stopped to draw
around
his
the
gun.
vehicle to reach his partner who was had made the determination to arrest the woman and was attempting to get her out of the vehicle. And that's what he was supposed to be doing. Again, you guys have a very strange way of interpreting the video, which is fine.
Grid, when
A
you
very strange
say
way of saying this
There
guy
are
who goes,
multiple, there are
"Whoa,"
multiple factors
almost
that we got to
dies.
take
Okay.
into account here, guys. Like you guys are not. You guys are looking over a lot of factors that you're not taking into account. Like, have you guys like? How many of you guys have walked on ice before?
Yeah, yeah, I lived in
obviously.
Scotland.
Anybody?
I live in
Has
Tennessee.
Anybody?
Yeah,
Just
that's
put your
it,
hand.
yeah.
Yes,
Who-
we've walked on
Okay,
ice.
great.
Make
So
your
you've all
point.
walked on ice. Okay. So how fast can you just like take off to one side or the other on
Yeah,
ice?
not only that,
Wait,
yeah, I
You're
if you're
walked
telling me that ice is
downhill
more
on ice today.
precarious and slippery, then maybe you
Hold
shouldn't
on,
be
hold
standing
on.
in front of a potentially moving vehicle
Well,
if
he
you're worried
already
about being able to
waddled in
grab
front of
your
it.
like footing. Yeah, well, he shouldn't have been there, right?
Okay, so wait, he shouldn't have been there, but if that's what you're saying, okay, well, he shouldn't have been there. So what you're telling me is that because he made that decision, he should have died for it, right? He should have not
No,
tried
because I
to
don't think he
take
was
his
in
gun
danger.
out and defend himself.
No, I don't
Well,
think he
the
actually.
How can you-
Kung Fu Joe,
how do you
hold on.
know
The Kung Fu
that?
Joe, Kung
I
Fu Joe.
know,
They
because I
didn't say
watched the
that he
video.
should have died for it, but that is kind of the implication from the other side, right? Is that if he makes a mistake and goes to the wrong place, that the implication would be that now she has to die for his mistake. Yes.
No, I'm saying, well, in a way, if you're going to be the one weaponizing the vehicle
Well, hold on,
first,
hold on.
then yeah.
He didn't make.
Well, so
what-
okay, so then
They
that
didn't
would be
weaponize
that
the
is the
vehicle.
question.
He
Is
filmed them
that
turning
that
it
is
away.
She
that is the
weaponized
question. Is
vehicle
hold on,
before
wait, Joe,
he
hold on,
weaponized-
hold on, hold on,
started
hold on.
shooting.
Hold on, Joe. Okay, so yes, you do believe that she weaponized the vehicle as though she was like attempting to hit him. Yes.
From his account, from his view.
You're saying he had a reasonable
guy-
belief
Listen,
that she was
let
attempting
me
to
let
hit
me
him. Yes.
let me explain. Okay, listen. He whatever he did, he waddled up in front of the car, right? And now what
In front
he
of a moving
begins
car,
to
to be fair.
react in so it was moving backwards, first of all. You didn't
Yes,
know
that's
it
a
was
moving
gonna
car.
be
What are you
something
talking
car.
about?
Okay, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, Joe.
It's totally
Hold on.
fine. It's
Wait,
unsafe.
hold on.
You know,
Hold on, Joe. My question was, you're saying that he had like a reasonable fear that she was trying to hit him with the car. Yes, that's what you're saying.
yes, and I'm explaining why. Because he already put himself in front of the car while it was going backwards. He doesn't know she's going to accelerate forward with him in front of it. He's standing on ice. He can't just dodge like you can on normal, like dry ground, right? And she hears the girlfriend getting in the passenger seat yelling, "Drive, baby, drive." That's what he's reacting to. He knows he probably can't get out of the way in time. Here comes the car. It grazed him. He can't. When you're this close, you can't see where the wheels are pointing. So I think, like in
filmed
What,
where
yeah,
the
what
wheels
about
are.
when you're
time,
filming
filmed
it
her
and we
turning
can
the
have
wheel.
we can have his direct point of view where we see her turning the wheel and we know exactly
and
which
looking
way
right
they're
at him,
pointing.
like
yeah.
you can
she's
see
aiming
the
the car at him.
Yes,
yeah, his
in the
camera.
clip, he's looking right
That's
at
what
her,
his
yeah.
camera's aiming at. That's not his eyeballs looking at her. That's
Okay, where
his
do you think
camera
where do
from
you
his
think
phone
he's
looking
looking
he
at.
was looking at?
I
think he
think
was like-
he's looking right at her.
Where,
He's looking
where's
right at
the
her, not on
wheel?
the
It's in front of
fucking
her
tire.
very
Yeah,
face.
the wheel is in front of her.
And he doesn't
wheel-
know how far the
so-
wheel is turned
So
one way or the other.
if you're backing up and you see someone and you think they're going to hit you, would you not expect them to turn the wheel to hit
No,
you?
he's already in front of the car this far
Well, at
away.
this point, he's
Which
already
time he,
moving
I
away
don't. I
from
mean,
the car,
this is
right?
a
Because
this is a
like I think the
silly
first
thing
shot
to.
goes off while he's already to the side. No.
he's so close that when she takes off, she grazes him. How the fuck? That's close enough, in my opinion. Like, yeah, I don't fucking know. I'm not going to be the one like in that position.
Well, I know
but
you're
if you
stupid enough
think
to have shot her in
she's
this scenario, but like
crazy,
a reasonable
no,
person might not, right?
stupid. No,
There-
dude, you're
I
just
don't
like
think that's
you're
possible.
you don't get it. You just don't understand what it's like to be in these type of situations because you
First of all,
probably
do
are
you?
super
Are
sheltered.
you
walk in
are you
front
a
of
law
cars
enforcement
that are
officer?
I've
moving.
been in some death situations before, dude. I know what
How
it's
do you know?
like. Okay, I don't
Do
know if
you?
your sheltered ass has. Yeah, I do.
Even
So
if you're talking
anyway,
about sheltered though,
if it,
do
yeah,
you acknowledge that and again I've had an ex-cop tell me this as well. You acknowledge that in order to draw his gun when he's in front of the car, you have to like he wasn't doing that while he was pacing. He stopped pacing to draw his gun, right?
No, he didn't.
and
Yes.
No, he did
Yes.
not.
He took one step
Oh.
that could have continued.
Literally,
And
as
he's-
as
True.
the car is coming towards him, he realizes that, hey, this chick's gonna hit me, and draws his gun.
Okay, I'm gonna
Did
just
a-
play
he
it to
did
my
an
chat so they can
exceptional
see
job
how
of that, by the
delusional
way.
you're being. But I'm just gonna watch the clip, and you can see he like angles himself, and he pauses for 1 second to draw his gun, and then she starts to move forward, and then he jumps out of the way.
I've watched the clip a lot.
I do
and
believe his
gun is not
hips
going
are
to-
facing.
You can't tell.
Well,
If you
hold
wanna-
on,
if
wait,
you wanna-
wait,
if
hold
you
on,
take
wait, wait,
yourself
wait,
from a-
wait,
move
hold
from
on,
a car
hold on,
that's
hold
about
on.
to turn
That
in front of
I
you,
believe
just
that
jump out of the way. Why shoot
you're
them?
saying that his hips shift, right? You're saying his hips are like facing one direction, and then as the car starts moving, he turns his hips and faces it. LonerBox.
For like a split second, yeah, for a second.
Okay, so do you disagree with that, Grid, that he
And then he had to slow
switches
down
the
his
position
pacing
of his
to
hips
draw the
and
gun.
face the car?
No. This is manufactured. That he didn't even start shooting until the car is basically hitting him. Like, it's like when you
Until
watch
after,
it,
to be
and
clear,
I've
until
watched
after
it
the
slow
bump and he's out of the
down.
way, right?
I've
Yeah,
watched
yeah.
them both angles. I've done all of that, and his draw is really good. Like, I mean, I understand why. We've done a little bit more research on who he is and what he's done and all that. And because normal officers normal officers would have just taken the broken leg or whatever, and maybe
Internal
Wait, Grid, are you
bleeding.
implying that had he not shot, he would have had a broken leg?
Yeah, how did the gun stop
I
that?
honestly think at best, at the very best outcome, he'd have had a broken leg.
Okay, so
Because-
can you
but
show me?
how
Can you
did the
watch the
gun
video
stop
and
the-
explain how the first shot, when he's not even in front of the car at this point, would it have prevented his?
What do you mean
broken
he's not in
leg?
front of the car? He literally is hit by the car and is
The first shot
falling.
happens when he is
while
not in
the-
front of
that-
the car.
Okay. She spun the
I mean,
tire.
I understand you maybe didn't watch the same video. You also thought he was in the hospital still. Like, maybe you don't have your facts straight, but like, he's not in front of the car when he fires the first shot. This is just like, demonstrably true. You can watch this part. That part's not in question.
Well, okay, in front of the car is like when you say in front of the car, like it seems as though he's leaning over the car. Part of his body is in front of the car, but both of his feet are
first
to
shot
the
goes
side of the
car, yeah.
bumper. Yes, they're to the side of the front bumper, and so I think he's saying like he's leaning in front of the car, but he's
Right. So that
but his
shooting or
feet
not
are on
shooting
the side of the car.
changes not whether or not his legs break.
what?
Yeah, the bullet stopped. The
Oh,
bullet
dude.
took off the chunk of the car that would have.
All right,
bumped his
whatever.
leg.
Yeah, I don't see
We're,
how
we're
this
not going to
possibly
agree
could
on
have
this
prevented it.
because these guys think the cops
you're
should have just
lying.
gotten
I'm-
hurt and the woman should have driven off and everything should have been fine. That's what
Well, to
these
be clear,
guys
he
believe.
was hurt,
They're
Grid. He's
perfectly
horribly
willing to
internally bleeding. It's been
sacrifice
8 days
officer
in the hospital.
safety
so.
and welfare in the name of idiots being idiots doing idiot shit. That's what they're fine with it.
So I'm watching the clip right now. He pivots, he starts pacing, then he pivots right in front of the car to take his gun out, and then she moves forward, and then he jumps out of the way. Now, I guess a very simple question is, he supposedly identified the threat when he decides to take his gun out. That's the mental process. But I'm just wondering, you have to be a bit slower to draw your gun, right? You can't jump out of the way and draw your gun at the same time, right?
Absolutely.
Yes or
I
no?
can.
Okay. No, absolutely you can. Like with diving out of the way of a car. Jumping out of the way of a car, you can draw your gun that
Yeah.
quickly.
I mean, what? I mean, I can't demonstrate now because, we take down all of our streams. But I'm a competitive shooter. I have a fairly decent draw myself.
Okay. and see why you like this guy. So I've got.
I'm
So
originally when I heard about it, I was like, okay, it's just another idiot. But when you hear it, when you listen to the splits and you hear how fast, the time difference between when he realizes that, hey, I'm going to get hit with a car, and when he draws the gun and fires aimed shots, it's impressive, like very impressive. It wouldn't have been impressive if he'd already had his gun drawn, which maybe he should have, because now his partner's trying to arrest this person. He probably should have had his gun out already, but he didn't. He was taking this as, hey, this is just a soccer mom, we're going to detain her, whatever. He wasn't. I don't think he took it seriously until that car accelerated toward him, and he made the decision to go from, we're just going to detain this person, to this is now escalated to very dangerous, and he made a very rapid decision.
Yeah, so anyone who's actually being honest with you, even if you just use your brain, would know that, and again, I've had the ex-cops tell me this as well, that if you have two situations where you have to move out of the way of something, you are going to have an easier time moving out of the way when you don't have to draw your gun at the same time. I'm looking at the clip right now. This guy slowed down. He came to a stop to draw his gun and then faced her and then jumped out of the way when she started moving. He had two choices. He's like, this car might be a threat. Either I can protect myself with a gun, or I move or just keep moving out of the way. He chose to use the gun, which is probably why he's got
dude.
traumatic internal bleeding.
You're either going to choose one or the other.
It's not. You're not always going to protect you from a car moving towards you, jumping out of the way or shooting it.
You don't have that kind of time to react and think about it. You don't have that kind of
react and think about whether or not drawing a gun and shooting is going to save me from the car better than getting out of the way. Are you retarded?
Because the car.
No. Guess what?
People back over people. People do weird things. Yes, once you're a threat until the threat is gone.
People back over.
And to be clear, when he shot her
on this icy, if he had got to the side of the car and not drawn his gun, there's a risk that she might have gone forward and then really quickly reversed back into him, or what?
Look, it's that simple. He's on ice.
Jesus,
absolutely could have.
Like she would have
at that point, he would have had an extra 3 to 4 seconds to actually draw his gun and get in a good position.
Well, actually, if that had happened, his partner would have drawn their gun and shot her, but that's beside the point. Because he would have been underneath the car.
But to be clear,
there have been cases where multiple cops have fired on a moving car and been done for it and not been given qualified immunity. But in this case, only one guy seemed to think it was even worth drawing his gun. Yeah, fuck.
What do you mean? Also, he didn't think it was worth it. He was the one in danger. He's the one that made the decision under stress.
So the other cops didn't see the other guy in danger? Didn't see that he was in danger?
Maybe not in time to react.
Okay. You acknowledge
as well. Everybody reacts at the same speed.
This earlier. Yeah, you dodged this earlier. You acknowledged that he fired after the bump happened, right? Not during, after.
It wasn't 5 minutes after. You're talking about what, like 1.01 second after?
He went, whoa, and then fired.
Right, yeah. Whoa, 0.01 second. Okay, 0.01 second.
So he's gotten out of the way.
He'd already made the decision to fire because he knew he was going to get hit.
Okay. Or he'd already been bumped and then thought, oh God, I might die. This car might continue to break my leg as it's gone past me.
Grid, I have seen a bunch of ex-ICE officers or DHS officers and lots of people on online in articles saying that this is almost everything that he did was against protocol and what DHS policy is. But I'm sure that there's another side of that story
in regard to traffic stops, because they don't do traffic stops, right? This is my biggest complaint with this guy is that,
well, this wouldn't be a traffic stop. The idea would be that she was
stop, though.
No, not really. Their claim is that she was obstructing, right? So it's not really a traffic stop.
But the things the cops are talking about are things that people that do traffic stops know about, like not walking in front. Counterpoints was saying this the other day because he was a cop. He was a beat cop. He was a cop that drove around in a car all day. So they know, hey, don't walk in front of the car. Don't walk behind the car because idiots are idiots and they'll try and run you over. Right? He made that point. I agree with this point, and I told him. Feds aren't traffic cops. They have they have a very focused point of training to some degree, and he may have done vehicle operations at some point. I'm sure he did, but he doesn't do it all the time. So he's not thinking that the soccer mom's going to throw the car in reverse or forward and try and run him over. That's not. He's thinking, hey, I need to back my partner up who's about to open this door and pull this woman out and arrest her. That's what he's thinking.
So
Grid,
I
you
can
acknowledge
understand
this by taking
the
these-
frame of mind. Well, hold on. I can understand the frame of mind that you're giving me, and I can agree with that to an extent. But wouldn't that just further explain that like he is just doing the wrong thing? That like if like protocol and what it is that they're trained to do doesn't
I
matter
think he
as
was
much.
sloppy,
and-
but that doesn't give her the right to try and run his ass over.
Wait, Grid,
Sure,
you
I don't
literally
know
said that
what.
this was like
real quick, hold
impeccable
on.
draw, had
Soy,
great work.
Soy,
like,
hold on,
and now
wait,
you're
wait,
saying
Yeah, his
he's
gun
impeccable.
work
Hold on,
was
wait,
awesome.
wait.
He was sloppy with his
I don't think anybody here thinks that she was right in trying to flee, or that she
Well, apparently
ought to
they
have
do
fled.
because
or
they're justifying the shit out of it.
When did I
They-
say that?
so SoyPill, do
didn't-
you
oh, you
think
just
that
made
she
that
should
up.
have
Okay,
fled?
that's
I think
it.
I
Yeah,
have right to
okay.
try
No,
to
I didn't.
flee.
You've
There's
literally
mental
spent this
cardio
whole
right.
time
Like,
saying that this
legally, I
cop
don't
didn't
think you're
have to
allowed
shoot her,
to.
and you were just okay with her driving off.
Do you
after
think
Well,
if
that's
I
what-
said
okay,
you don't
fine.
have to shoot
Wait.
someone for something, that means the thing is okay? Is shoplifting okay if I think you shouldn't have to shoot people for it? What the fuck are you talking about? That's not
This
the same
isn't
thing.
shoplifting. This is literally driving a
conflating.
deadly weapon at somebody.
Yes,
Is that
wait,
okay?
but Grid, that is what we're trying to
think-
get at.
I think
Is
in
that
worst case
the
scenario,
the difference?
you could prosecute this person for like evading arrest at some point, like, and I would probably say
No,
that's
you would
justified.
literally. I would prosecute that if she got in the way. I would have prosecuted her for literally assault with a deadly
Attempted murder?
weapon with intent.
You'd say with
Wait,
intent.
why?
Wait, but
You-
that,
you
wait,
say-
hold on,
you
wait,
have
wait,
no
wait,
idea
hold
that
on,
she
hold
was
on,
gonna
hold
run
on,
that
hold on,
cop
guys, hold on. Okay, so I feel like maybe I misunderstood. So Grid, I thought at the beginning we were asking about like her intent and what it was that you thought she was trying to do, and I thought you were saying that you didn't have like a take on what her intent was, but now you are
Well,
saying
I'm-
that you would charge her with
I'm
intent.
simply
Yes.
responding to. I'm giving them the opposing view because if they're going to say that she should just be, just hand waved away for trying to run over this cop, I'm going to say no. I don't believe that. I think that if
You're
you were-
creating a
you were
dichotomy,
in
Grid,
a-
between
you are-
either
you
you
are
let her go and
absolutely
do
in the
nothing
in the
and kill her,
position-
and we're saying
You're
you shouldn't have
absolutely
killed
in
her.
the position of saying that a person. First of all, the minute you accelerate a car towards someone, they don't have to be directly in front of you. They don't have to be like, if you accelerate a vehicle towards someone, especially a law enforcement officer, that vehicle becomes a deadly weapon.
You also don't have to be turning the vehicle in the opposite direction that the person's moving, apparently. Yeah, even though we can literally
We
see the
don't
clip
know
of her
that. You
turning
keep
the wheel
claiming
to the
that,
right.
but we don't
we
know
can,
that.
we saw that
No,
on the
we
on
do
the
know that.
video.
There's a clip of her
We don't
from his
know
own
that.
phone. She turned her wheel to the right as he was moving left. This is the fucking MAGA thing. You guys are pretending to not know your left from your right
It's not.
to make
First of all, I'm
this
not
make sense.
MAGA. Second, I don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
what she was
Why are
trying to
people
do.
never MAGA? It's so weird.
Yeah, I'm not MAGA.
Did
Okay.
you vote for Trump?
I did, but that doesn't make
Yeah,
it.
that's
it
all that
makes me
matters,
mad.
buddy.
Is that all that matters? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you vote for?
If you
did
support
you
him
vote for,
materially, you're MAGA. Like, just
Did you
because you're
vote
not.
for Kamala?
Well, Grid, that's why
do vote,
early.
yeah,
So when
yeah.
you said
Okay.
assault,
We're blasphemers.
with a deadly weapon with intent, I'm asking you about like if you're saying that you would charge her with the intent as well.
Yeah,
you would have to believe that she did show that she was intending to do this.
Goes to intent.
Wait, so
could've-
you
she
clearly
could've
at the
stopped.
beginning of
She
this
knew he
said we
was-
can't know
she
what's
could
in her
clearly
mind. Now you're
see he was
saying
in front of her.
100% it's intent provable.
She could clearly see the officer was in front of her, and she stepped on the accelerator. And this has been upheld in the Supreme Court, U.S. versus Wallace, that is intent and that is vehicular assault.
Why do you leave out the fact that she was turning the wheel in the opposite direction?
It
that he
doesn't
was
matter. It does not matter. That does not matter. You guys keep pointing to
It
that
doesn't
like
matter
it
if
matters.
you can
The
show that
wheels
there's
can be
intent to
turned
not
just
hit
as
the
think she
person.
easily
was-
the other way. None
Do
of
you think
that
she was
matters.
attempting to get like a spin ball on him, like in fucking pool?
Well, I'm okay. So when
Again,
we're
you
talking
accelerate
about,
a vehicle towards someone, regardless which ways your wheels are turned. You're
No
gonna
matter
be
what.
hit with
Okay, so
bigger
what
weapons.
if I tap the accelerator? I start going 1 mile an hour and he's 100 feet away. Would you say that this is intent to commit vehicular manslaughter?
If you're 1 mile an hour,
Yeah, 1 mile an hour.
it depends on the range, but probably not.
Okay, so are you saying that there maybe are circumstances that might change the way that a court interprets whether or not she intended to hit him?
That has nothing to do with what you're going to be charged with.
It has everything to do with it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be charged with intent.
It's okay, SoyPill. It's okay.
Are you aware of the difference between intent and non-intent? Like the difference between like manslaughter and murder? Like intent matters. Like this is a very significant thing
Yes,
in
but
charging someone.
when you are charged, they suss that out. If you accelerate towards a person,
right?
and you intend to do it.
Okay, so
you.
again,
Well,
we
even
just
if they don't.
agreed that if
Let's
she had
just- let's
gone
just- all
a
right,
mile
fine,
an hour
fine,
at a guy
fine.
10
You know
feet
what?
away,
I'll
this would not
I'll
be
go with you,
intent,
SoyPill.
correct?
I'll go with you. But it's still going to be vehicular assault.
Okay, so at least we're at
Well,
the
you
part
drop
where
that
we
one quite
can't
quickly. With a deadline,
100% definitively
assault with
say
all
that
the
she
weapons.
did have
It was still
intent,
fucking
because of
bullshit,
course
yeah.
we can't. But yeah, theoretically, this could be some sort of involuntary thing. But I'm glad we moved on from the intent.
Involuntary?
Yeah, as in she didn't
Well,
try
so-
to kill this person?
No.
That's what I'm trying to understand
Did
as
she
well,
step
Grid.
on the
If we're
accelerator
talking about
pedal or not?
intent, if we're
Did she
talking about
ease
intent,
away, or
we're
did she-
saying that
did she hammer
Well, hold
enough
on,
that
wait.
the tires
the
spun?
it does, like with intent, it's not just saying that like you're doing something and something could possibly happen as a consequence accidentally, but that, because that would be like, you know, negligent or something like that, but you're talking about with intent. So you're saying like her goal was
she
to
hammered
hit
the
him.
accelerator. She didn't ease out at 1
Well, just to
mile
be
an
clear,
hour. She
I'm
spun
asking
the tires. If the tires hadn't spun, the cop would have probably been dead.
Hold on,
because
wait,
she'd have
I'm
hit him
asking a
that much
different
faster.
question, because this is the part that I think they're getting confused on, is that where you're saying with intent, the idea is that she is hoping to hit him. She intends to hit him. The goal of pressing on the accelerator is to hit him. Is that what you're saying?
You know, I don't know, because I don't know if she even knew he was in front of her. So
Okay.
I said, hey, we take the intent off. It's still vehicular assault. It's still.
Yeah, she's looking at him
deadly
in
weapon.
the. She's looking.
She is
in his
literally
direction
looking at
in
him.
the-
But that
in
doesn't.
the video. so-
Again, the argument can be made that she didn't even see him. She was just trying to flee.
Okay, wait.
That's a good- and
If
you guys
that
should take that
can be
argument.
made, Grid, then it
Yeah, the argument can
clearly
be
isn't
made.
100% it is intent. Do you understand that? That like this is already, you're introducing doubt into the scenario?
Well, he
I can
did
make
just
a
say
lot
that
of
he
arguments.
was granting that
Right.
he
This
wouldn't
is how
keep the intent
analysis
anymore.
of potential crime works, especially in court. And so, like the fact that you're coming out and saying this is clearly 100% with intent, and had he
No,
not
I
shot,
said that
she would have been
could be.
charged.
I said she would be charged that way. I believe that she would. You said something like basically, oh, she's just hand wave, you know, no big deal. She just drove away. I'm saying no. She would get charged if she had done what she did and she'd hit him like she did. She wouldn't be. It wouldn't be hand waved away.
So, SoyPill, you agree that she did hit him, yes?
It depends
That
what
he
you mean
was
by
hit.
I agree that a car made contact with him, but it is unclear to me whether this is she swiped him or he is like pushing off the car because he's laying his hand on it, and that's why you can see his feet move back. That could be because she like bumped into him and he moved back. That also could be because he has his hand on the car, and as it's
He doesn't
accelerating, it pushes them off.
He has one hand with his phone on it, and the other hand with a
Yes.
gun. Which
Right.
hand
So
did he use?
in classical Newtonian physics, when you are connected with something and it moves, you will also move. Now, whether this is because it hit you or because you're already connected,
But you just said that he put his hand on it, but yet
Yeah.
both hands were full.
yes.
And I don't see the camera hit.
He's
the
asking
hood.
which hand did he put
Wait,
on there? The one
You
with
don't
the
see
gun
camera
or the
hit
one
hood?
with the
Have
phone?
you seen the video?
I see
yeah,
the
the
camera.
camera,
I see him bounce
you
off
sound-
the
you
hood.
see
how
but
I'm
I don't
pushing
see
against
him
my mic
lay
right
the-
now, but I have a
don't
phone
see
in my
him
hand?
like here. I'm putting my camera here. I got my phone right here. I didn't see him do this. I saw him like bounce off of the hood. Maybe you're just
see, you can't see the camera in the footage that is recorded with his camera, right?
Yes, I see it. I don't see him lay it down there. I see him bounce off of the hood. Right? Is that what you see?
No.
Okay. What do you see? I'm
Do you
fascinated.
want to watch the video again?
No, I seriously want you to describe what you saw.
So when you say bounce off the hood, do you mean like the car hits him and he goes, whoa? Or do you mean like potentially when he puts
You
his hand
said he
down,
put his
there's a
hand on the
forward
hood, like
transfer
he
of the
rested
momentum?
it on the hood
I'm
to
not-
like push himself off or something. That's what you
No.
said.
That-
Now
look,
I
I'm
want
not
you to
saying- I'm
back
not
that
saying
shit
that he
up
is- I'm not
because
saying
what
that
I
he-
see is I
I'm
see
not
him get
saying-
hit by a
If I
fucking
back it
car
up, will you shoot
and him
me in the
bounce
head?
off of the
I'm-
hood.
I'm not saying that she calmly rested his hand down, and then as the car was accelerating, like a baby, he was gently pushed away. Okay, I'm saying that when he puts his hand down,
This is literally the
right,
dumbest
as
thing
he's
I've ever
moving
heard
out
you
of his way, as he's trying to move out of the way, the momentum of that car is transferred. Now, whether or not you want to call that hitting or if he is pushing off the car, either one, I don't know for sure. You can't tell from the video. That is what I'm saying.
I don't know
That's-
why he
that's
keeps
amazing.
popping
Okay.
out.
All right, whatever.
But like,
But okay,
you
so
seem to be of
the-
the-
Do
you
you
seem to be of the
acknowledge like that
position-
it is possible that both of those things happened?
I saw the phone bounce off of the car. It didn't rest there. He didn't push off of it. He bounced off. He goes, oof, I believe, when that happens. It wasn't like he didn't rest
I
his
say
hand
oof
on
when
the
I
hood
stand
and
up, just to be
gently
clear.
push off
Old
like
people
a
do
baby.
this all the time.
That
So this
didn't
is not
happen.
proof that he got hit. Okay.
So,
It was more like a whoa, like the Elon Musk noise. But
What? No,
it
I'm
seems
sorry,
like your
what?
position is that it doesn't really matter what her intent was. She could have like it seems like you like, if you know your left from your right, she was obviously steering in the direction away from where he was moving. But in any case, it seems like to you that doesn't really matter because what matters is obviously whether or not he's in danger, right? It doesn't matter what her intent is from his perspective, correct? Because if that's the case, I'm just wondering, like, wouldn't the January 6th cops have been justified in firing on like quite a lot of people on that day then? If you've got people coming towards them with like flags and poles and shields and shit, and some of these cops are like literally on their own with a mob of like 100 people coming towards them. That guy doesn't know that they're not just going to like jump 5 feet forward and kill them, right? Why doesn't he just shoot them on those grounds?
well, I mean, the same could be said for any protest.
Well, that's why I'm asking. You seem to think this shooting is fine conduct because, you know, she
Well,
might have
She
killed him or broken
literally
his leg.
accelerated a car. It's a little ballsier than carrying around a stick saying
After
with
you've
the
broken into a
sign on
building
it.
that you're not supposed to be in with weapons, and after you've already fought with cops with deadly weapons.
I don't know.
Bats are
The
deadly
video
weapons.
I've seen is, or let's use your guys' term, mostly peaceful. There. I mean, I don't want to sit here and relitigate Jan 6 nonsense
Yeah, I'm not going to
again.
obviously
If
tell
we
you that
need
people
to,
who stood
I mean,
outside and
I've
didn't
got a
hit
couple
anyone.
guys who were there that could speak to it, but
Do you
I
deny that
wasn't
there were people there with
so I
weapons?
don't know.
Do you deny that there were people? What do you mean you don't know because you weren't there? This is one of the most filmed singular protest events in world history.
None of us were at the
you
Renee
acknowledge they
Good
had
shooting
weapons,
either.
right?
We're
They
still
had
here to
weapons
talk
that can
about
kill
it.
you.
Yeah.
And they
Tom,
use
are
those
we
weapons
allowed
on
to have
cops.
the video up on stream or no?
I'm trying to, if you can send me one that you think is fine. Every single one that
this
I'm
one at
pulling
1
up
minute and
is
57
highly
seconds. I'm sending it
edited.
to you right now.
Also,
This is not highly edited. This is
there's a
this
lot
is like
more
the
cops who
original
got injured on
video.
that
There's a lot
event,
of
right?
sync stuff, but like this one, I like. If you can look at this and tell me it is impossible that. By the way, I'm not claiming this is 100% definitively what happened. I'm saying it is very possible that this guy did not get hit and he had his hand on the car when it was accelerating, therefore sliding him backwards. I'm not saying that's definitely what happened. It's very possibly that it was a swipe and not like he got pushed away from it. I'm saying it is unclear to me based on all the videos I've seen, but is definitely clear to me that this is not something that I would fear for my life in this scenario for. But I also do, apparently this guy, it happened to him before, and he might have had PTSD, which means he should not have fucking been there in any scenario that would ever involve a car. But yeah, can you show that, Tom? 157 is where I was at.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up real quick. Oh, here it is. Okay. I did want to make sure. So LonerBox and SoyPill, you guys don't think she should have fled? This was a contention that they had just a little bit earlier.
It's like we're judging
bet.
someone who, in the heat of the moment, has a bunch of people approaching her car and her getting mixed signals from 2 different ICE officers and her wife. Yeah, I think it's illegal for her to flee. Maybe here, I don't know exactly how the jurisdiction works, but I would not blame them, and I don't think it deserves capital punishment. Like at worst, it deserves like, hey, you resisted arrest, and then she should.
Sure,
be
but
punished.
like we're saying, like let's say she isn't shot, you see a video where she just drives off, and nobody shoots her. You wouldn't be like protesting her getting charged.
I might
with
be, depending
fleeing
on what
an
they're trying to
officer or
charge her
anything
with,
like
but I
that.
wouldn't say it's like completely unjustifiable if they tried to slap her with some like minor thing here. Yeah.
Just so like evading arrest.
Yes, I think that there's a very real case for that to be justifiable.
And LonerBox.
Yeah. Like just because I don't think people should get shot for shoplifting, that doesn't mean that it's okay to shoplift. Yeah, it's stupid.
Okay. All right. So here's the video. I've got it up. This is where
Trying
he
to swerve
starts walking
him
around.
when she was shot and killed. They are Renee Nicole Good's final words.
You can see the deathly intent in her eyes right here.
Captured on this cell phone video, recorded by ICE agent Jonathan Ross, who fatally shot her Wednesday morning in Minneapolis. The footage begins with Agent Ross approaching Good, who is sitting in her SUV. You can hear Good say to him, she's not mad.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. It's okay, we don't change our plates every morning.
Good's wife, standing outside the car, is also filming.
It'll be the same
Also, to be
plate
clear, he's
when you
already
come
circled the
talk to us
car
later.
once, so he doesn't need
Ross
to go
walks
around
around the
second
front
time
of the SUV, while another agent can be heard telling Good to get out of the car.
Out of the car. Get out of the car.
Good's wife tries to open the door as Good reverses and begins to drive away. The camera goes down as Ross, who is still standing, yells out, then fires 3 shots.
Oh!
Seconds later, a voice is heard cursing Good, who crashes her car down the road.
Bitch.
Okay, so there is another angle where it shows like him actually being hit from over in this direction. But this isn't.
Yeah, you could bring that one up too, but I don't see.
Yeah, I
anything.
was
One,
looking for that one.
See him circle the car once, so he doesn't need any additional footage at this point, but circles again because he's incompetent and decides to step in front of this car. 2, very clearly, as this car backs up, is already to the left, or yeah, well, from her perspective, to the left of the car, and she is turning the wheel continuously. So if she even closely wanted to intend to hit this person, would have stopped turning the wheel at that point. This is very clear from his video. But on top of this, then. Determined from that you need to shoot her 3 times, and this is eliminating the threat. When right afterwards, we then see the car barrel down the as a now a big weighted projectile and hit some other car. It could have hurt someone. Like none of this, in my mind, justifies shooting her 3 times. This is insane to me.
Interesting.
Would you like to address any of those 3 points, or?
No, I already have. I don't feel like I need to tread the same.
We actually haven't mentioned that he circled the car twice. Do you think there was a reason for him to walk around
I
it
did
2
mention
times?
that. I even said that the only reason he came back around was to help his partner. I covered all of this. You should
Why
listen.
didn't he just go around the back?
Because why would he? Also, if
So
he
that he was
had,
not
she
standing in front of the
reversed
car.
up. She probably would have hit him then.
Why do you think she reversed?
I have no idea why she reversed.
Seriously?
No. He wasn't standing.
Do you think she just like was in reverse and she's like, oh, I don't know what to do, and she reversed for no reason, or maybe
So in
so
that
that she didn't
video,
hit the
where
guy
is
right
he
in front of her?
exactly when she reverses?
In front of the car?
So she just threw it in reverse, and what he thinks that she's just gonna like mosey on.
Well, or turn to the right to drive to the right, as he saw her doing in the video we
Well,
just
he didn't
watched.
see her do that, obviously, because he would not have gotten hit by the car.
He didn't see the thing that we just watched him record on the video.
Obviously, okay. Then explain to me how he got hit by a car.
Well, to be clear, I haven't even conceded that he got hit. I said it's possible, and if he did, it was very
I
mild. from the
literally
side
watched
swipe.
him get hit in the video.
No, we actually didn't.
Okay,
watch that, but okay.
I do
We
have
didn't
the
watch him get
other
hit, we watched him
angle.
go, "Whoa, whoa, whoa."
All right, I have the
Heard
other
the big
angle
thump, thump?
here.
Yeah.
This is the one that shows from the side. This is him here.
I mean,
So
if I put the worst lens on it, he honestly didn't need to back up to get around him. She could have just turned her wheels really hard and eased forward, been no problem.
So she
If I
even
put-
gave
if- if I
she
put
even
it-
gave
if you-
more
if you
room
want-
to
if
make
you
sure
want
she
me
didn't
to
hit him.
say-
It sounds
if
like.
you want me to give my honest observations of why she backed up was to get more distance so she could run him over harder.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on.
Wait, I thought you
your
seeded that.
claim.
If
Wait,
you
wait.
guys
To
are
be
gonna
clear.
be-
If you guys are
To
going to
be
be bad
clear.
faith, I'm going to be
He's
twice
gonna
as
run
bad.
up.
First of all,
If you
I'm
can
not
read
being bad
intent,
faith,
if
Grid.
you can tell me why she backed up with no knowledge of why she backed up, I can go there too.
How
No,
much did
I'm
this
not
car, how much
claiming
did
to
this
know. I'm
vehicle
claiming if
accelerate
you
to
watch the
50
video
feet
and you
away?
think anything other than, so if you think you watch the video and think, oh, she's revving up to hit him, like I just don't know what video.
Why
you
did
watched.
she spin the tires? Why didn't she just ease away?
Because she's scared of the ICE agent grabbing at her driver's side door, and
Then
her
why-
wife is screaming at her to drive.
Well, hold on. Okay. All right.
Well, so okay, so I
What?
think
Okay,
the
what?
problem is hold on,
Why did-
wait.
but
The
you're- so
problem
you're
is hold on,
telling me-
wait, hold on, stop. So I think the problem is that like obviously there's two different theories here that each one of you are working from. The difference is that you're gonna try to like take these theories and then see which one like the evidence backs up more. It like there's
Well, no,
tons
wait,
of things
Tom,
that are
let me be clear.
possible.
I'm
I don't
not
think
saying
hold
the
on
evidence
just one
backs up
second.
my
Hold on,
theory
hold
more.
on, hold
I'm
on, hold on.
saying
Just one
there
second.
is
Hold on,
no
wait.
fucking
Hold on.
evidence, and you are
on.
delusional if you think she wanted to kill
got-
this guy. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, correct. That's what I'm getting at. So nobody knows like what her intent was. Nobody has like claimed they know exactly what's in her mind, but they're trying to say that like I think each side is trying to say that they have a theory based on the evidence that is available because they can see what's happening with all of the evidence put together. This is the conclusion that they're going to come to. So we don't have to like try to mind read here or anything. We're just looking at the evidence. This is what's done in court all the time. We look at evidence to look at it to come to a conclusion about whether or not somebody had intent with murder or other things. We were talking about intent with you were talking about intent with assault earlier, and so we can like look at the evidence and come to conclusions based on the evidence. And I think that's what SoyPill is trying to get at. He's saying that the evidence makes him come to this conclusion.
Yeah, he wants his intent to be reality, and I'm saying that I don't believe any of what he's talking. I the only thing I can prescribe to any of those, right? Like, we can say that she was scared. We can say that, she all of a sudden realized the weight of her mistake in harassing these federal officers doing their job. We could say all of that. Now, you wouldn't be wrong by saying it. But you guys are prescribing. I originally prescribed no intent. I just said this is what it is. This is how it works. You guys keep trying to push to prescribe intent, which I don't really care one way or the other, honestly. It could just be that she had athlete's foot and her foot itched, and that's why she stomped on the gas. I don't fucking know, and I don't care. All that really matters is the vehicle launched towards that officer in a very sprightly manner, and he defended himself. And that's honestly all I care about. You guys are trying
Grid, I need to ask you a question. Grid,
Yeah.
can you see my screen?
I can't see your screen.
You can?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you see this thing labeled car?
Oh, wait, hang on. I got to...
What's the other
Yes.
rectangle?
This is anything. Let's say this is
Yeah,
car.
put it-
This is also a
yeah,
car. Fuck
gotcha.
it. You know what?
Oh, it's two
Car.
cars.
All right. So you see this one right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is a car. Let's say you wanted to go here. What's the first thing you would do if you're in this car?
If I was in that car,
Uh-huh.
well, obviously I would back up.
Oh, why?
But hold on.
Wait,
Do I
wait,
need to
wait. Are you
back up
sure?
in a hurry, or am I scared? What's my motivation for backing up?
My motivation is to get the fuck away from the guy trying to pull me out of the car.
Oh. So I'm evading arrest.
Hey, we have already conceded that is very possible something that she could be charged with, okay? Like, we're not at that level. We're acknowledging that she was not backing up to
Okay.
try to get
So
more distance
you know that,
for a
I mean, just-
bigger ram, right?
Pretty much anything you do while you evade arrest is you're liable for. You understand that? Like it doesn't matter what her intent was if you're
It
attempting to.
absolutely matters what her intent was here, right? That's what's going to determine if she was still alive, whether they charge her with intent to assault with a weapon or involuntary manslaughter if he had broken his leg because he didn't shoot her or whatever insane scenario you're imagining. Like the intent
all right,
absolutely matters.
Let's just take this down. Did they tell her to get out of the vehicle?
Yeah, they also told her to get out of here. Right?
Hold on. Did the officer reach to open the vehicle to drag her out after she refused to get out of the vehicle?
Yes, but again, they're giving her conflicting commands.
Just answer the questions. It's easy.
Do you acknowledge they gave her conflicting commands that we saw in the video, or no?
I only heard the command to get out of the vehicle. So
Okay.
All right.
Loner, sanity check. I swear to God, did the ICE people not say move, as in move out of the car because you're blocking, and that's why she's saying to go around?
I believe their exact words were, "Get out of the fucking car." Yeah.
Yeah.
But there were two
get out of
commands,
the
no?
fucking car. That's what I heard.
Not just any car. The fucking car.
No, Loner,
Right.
what I'm asking is, did they not also tell her to move?
They told her to move
Oh, yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, they did tell her to move. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they
earlier.
said she
Just
was
to be
blocking.
clear.
But when he had his hands on the door, he said, "Get out of the fucking car."
Yes, he said that. That's correct.
Yes. And she chose
so-
not to do that. So if, hold on. If a normal human that is told to get out of the fucking car by a cop who's literally got their hand on the car door to open it,
hmm
decides to drive away, what do we call that?
Fleeing arrest.
Fleeing arrest. Is fleeing
Mhm.
arrest a felony in most areas?
I don't know. It's not a capital offense, though.
It's not a capital offense. We're not, but he didn't carry out a capital offense. He did that in self-defense. Capital offense is a totally different thing. I like
The
your
point is,
wordplay.
I'm saying we're acknowledging, and we have several times, so I don't know why we're reiterating this, that she very well could be liable for something wrong here.
Sure.
That doesn't mean that she
And
should
you
have been shot,
understand
which
that
is the
felony, during felony flight,
substance of
if you
this debate.
endanger an officer's life, they have the ability to defend themselves.
I'm aware of that. I don't think his life was in
Okay.
danger, though.
Then, and that's exactly what happened. And I don't understand why you're arguing.
Whose screen am I looking at now?
Yeah,
Is it-
SoyPill, can you see
oh,
this?
okay, dude, you can't just mog me with your much better car drawing. Like
No,
you
look,
also
it's just that
spelled
like
it
you've
better.
got you haven't considered the other argument about why she was reversing, right? So you got
Hmm.
car here, and you've got
Yeah.
ice pig bastard here, but you've forgotten the sling factor, right? Which is when you're going to have to turn sideways and then also reverse to get some more momentum to fucking blast them at higher acceleration.
Yeah, well,
these-
no,
these
well, she was
Hondas
doing one
It
of those
does
like
appear
James
that when
Bond.
she
They're
backs
really
up,
where
she
she,
they're not
actually
to
lines
100
up
is
on
really fucking powerful, like from a few feet backwards. Yeah,
but there's also a
changes
rotate. I
everything.
think there's a rotate feature you're missing here, where like she's turning to the right, so she can kind of like check him with the back of the car, right? Like do this
Yeah,
little
that's because if
swing
you hit,
maneuver.
yeah, in pool, if you hit the ball at an angle, it kind of spins around. So maybe she wanted to
Right.
like fucking
She wanted to disorient him a little
catapult
bit
him.
so that
Yeah,
like she could get away and he
Okay.
wouldn't know which
throw
way
him
she
into a
went.
spiral.
So
Mhm.
So
again,
hold on, wait. Hold on.
Hey,
So,
we got a
so
mic
wait,
back.
It doesn't bother anyone.
yeah, we got him
Alright,
back. Okay, cool.
jeez.
So one second. So SoyPill, there's a possibility that she was reversing to hit him. Yes, like what is the evidence that you say like discredits that makes you think
where
there's no
she's
way
turning
she
the
was
wheel away
trying to
from
do
him,
that?
clearly in the video that he released. Yeah. Like I don't know why else she would if she was trying to hit him, why she would turn the wheel in the opposite direction of the only person that's even remotely close to being in front of the car, right? Like why? Why else would she do this?
So,
Is it so she
Grid,
could,
do you
is it because
think
she
that
only
there's like
wanted to
a
hit him just a little bit, or is it because she's
Well,
trying
so
to
yeah,
get
so
away?
so Grid, do you think there's like if we were trying to read intent here, we're trying to figure out what it is she's attempting to do, because that is the claim from the Trump administration, is that she was trying to hit him and that she was a terrorist, right? That like would she try to hit him with the corner of the car, or do you think she would try to like hit him with the middle of the car? What do you think the evidence is?
Like I don't know. I mean, I understand where some people are saying that, because it looks like when she backs up, she literally backs up to line up directly with him. And I understand that she turns the wheel. I don't know. I'm not even going to guess as to what is going on there. I only really need to know two things. She accelerated towards him, regardless of which way the wheels were turned. She did in fact hit him, and
Why do you keep saying that? In fact, like we clearly watched that this is not determinable from either of those three videos or any of the three videos.
I don't
Wait, that he
understand why you're
wasn't hit
fighting
by
so
the
hard that
car?
he got hit with the car. Like that's
Because this is not clearly determinable. I'm not
Car
saying
hit
it's
him.
impossible. I'm saying this is
all
not
right,
what we
sure,
see on the
sure,
video.
fine, whatever. I don't need to stick on that point. He felt like he was going to get hit. Let's just say that he felt like his life was in danger.
Yeah,
Do
but
you
that's why I'm
disagree?
asking you in law enforcement
you
in
disagree?
general. Like, that's
You
why
disagree?
that's why I want to know.
I'll
You
say it's
No, I don't
disagree?
know
reasonable
if
to
he felt
believe
like
that.
I don't know if he felt like his life
He's
was
not
in
a
danger.
fucking robot. He's not like, oh, let's put the law enforcement program into him. He's a fucking human being, dude, who got dragged by a car like 6 months earlier and like spent some time in the hospital for that. So yeah, the guy, it was kind of like a mix of perfect chaos. You got a guy who had previously been dragged by a car. Now he's standing on ice in front of this car with these people who already shown that they don't want to fucking cooperate, right? And now you got the wife jumping in there saying, "Drive, baby, drive," like they're Thelma and fucking Louise, and you're gonna think that they're not gonna accelerate at me, and he's right in front of them. He's got a split second to make a fight or flight decision, And nobody's going to make the morally perfect decision every time in those types of like split-second decisions. I'm sorry,
Do
it's
you-
fucking
I have to
fantasy
ask.
land.
that's
Do you
that's
think?
why I wanna ask
Do you think
you.
Do you think his previous interaction with this car, where he was dragged, do you think that should have weight as to whether or not he performed the correct decision, or do you think that this should be irrelevant?
I don't know if
Well, he
you
was
heard me when
dragged
I
because
started
his arm was
talking.
stuck in the car.
Wait, that's not what I asked. I asked, do you think that we should view it with a different lens, knowing that he has experience with this happening to him, as in that might justify him taking an otherwise unjustifiable action?
Unjustified by what conditions?
No.
SoyPill?
I'm not
Are we-
asking you to concede that it's unjustified. I'm asking you that if it was unjustified, do you think that his past experience helps to justify this current action?
What I was making a point toward. No, I
Are you
mean I
just
don't
not
think
gonna?
that's. No, I don't think that's gonna come when you come down to like the legal brass tacks about things. I don't think that previous action, or maybe it will be. I don't know. Maybe his lawyer
So
will
why
say,
why
"Hey,
did you bring it up, Joe?
I take that back. I think it actually might be relevant. If he goes to trial, the fact that he got dragged by another car, it might be perfectly relevant to bring up in his defense, actually.
Makes
So
me wonder why
the-
he
I'm
tried to
sorry.
nonchalantly pace in
sorry.
front of the fucking big.
Yeah,
So
I was
hold
gonna
on.
say,
You
like-
guys,
wait,
you guys
hold
are
on.
missing
Hold on,
context,
hold on.
and now this kills it for
So-
you. I'm
No,
sorry.
that's great. That's
Joe,
great.
the,
No,
hold on,
yeah,
wait,
okay.
wait.
Well,
Hold
seems to
on,
be
hold
that-
on. So,
I
so
mean,
hold on,
it's
hold on.
not
Stop. Grid, stop. Hold on. So the argument was brought up earlier, Joe. You missed it. So the argument was brought up earlier that if he had like past trauma, then normally like somebody who has problems like after they get shot at or after they get attacked, lots of times if they have issues, they go through like psych evals to make sure that they're capable of doing the job without having some sort of bias or some sort of
Spurred out
problem
shooting
doing
moment?
the
Yeah.
job. So if this was something that you think played into his decision, normally when they go to court, they would be arguing as to whether or not whether or not a reasonable person would have done this. If he has trauma, that would make it to where it's like unreasonable now, right? So do you think that is actually like beneficial towards his case, or do you think that this would
I don't think
harm his
all
case?
experience. No, I don't think all experiences equal trauma. I think it's an on-the-job experience that he got. He could have just gotten through this, not had any trauma, and still just said, "Hey, since I have experience going through something like this, um, this is looking actually pretty scary in this moment right here, where I'm getting accelerated at, and Thelma and fucking Louise over here are yelling, 'Drive, baby, drive.'"
Wait, Joe, have you seen the
Your
video
argument
of,
is
like,
about
that cop-
trauma,
wait,
though,
wait,
isn't
Tom,
it?
can I ask-
Your argument is about trauma, though, isn't it? If you're saying that he's more likely to pull the trigger, like, isn't that
I'm
about
saying
trauma?
if he has an experience with a disobedient driver, right, he's levying commands at, and they drive off anyway, I think that's going to come into play.
Well, yeah, but Joe,
Okay,
have you
go ahead,
have
Soka.
you seen the video of the cop and he's walking next to a car and an acorn falls on the top of a car? He thinks it's a gunshot and he begins to
I
start
remember.
shooting down the sidewalk. You've seen
Yeah,
that,
I've
right?
seen that.
Yeah.
Do you think
I've
that was
seen that.
justified, or do you think he was being incompetent?
Do I think he was justified in getting scared by an acorn? I mean,
Yeah.
here's the thing. It's like I said earlier. They don't put like law enforcement software in the back of this guy's fucking neck, and they become law enforcement robot, and they
Okay.
just do everything perfectly.
Just yes or no.
right?
Do you
They're human
think
fucking
he
beings.
performed his job well, or do you think he shouldn't be a police officer?
No, I don't. I think he had a very human moment, right?
What is
Okay,
this fucking
I
story
was going to
shit,
use
man?
this
Like,
as a
supposed
scenario
to
to
be-
say this shouldn't justify, but you are defending acorn dipshit cop as like, oh man, sometimes we all
What's
get
there
scared
to
by an acorn
defend?
and
What's there
unload
to
a mag
defend?
into a public street. Like that's
Whatever
this is,
happened
like
to that guy?
ridiculous to defend.
It's supposed to
I don't
be
know,
an
he should be
No, I'm
objectively
not
reasonable
defending- I'm
standard.
not
It's not supposed to be
defending
your
him, I'm
personal
just saying,
experiences
like,
weighing in your
I'm curious
decision
now.
anyway.
What do you want me to defend there, bro? It's a guy who had a fucking spoof on himself. He got scared. Like, maybe he shouldn't be a cop anymore. I don't know. Maybe he shouldn't be a fucking
I'd
cop.
love to know what happened to that guy. But I mean, they're incompetence in anything. But this officer doesn't seem to be incompetent. He's been he was quite a history of actual competence. So,
Yeah, I don't know what the fucking acorn has to do with this shit. Is an acorn
it would be an easier
sound the
narrative if
same
he
as a
did.
fucking hey, acorn versus car,
I think the
accelerating
question
at
about
you.
the acorn is to talk about like reasonability, that like we can all understand that somebody might be scared when an acorn drops, but do we think it's reasonable to then pull a trigger is the question. And so we can all say that like, yes, this guy, we all might think it makes sense if we were dragged by a car at some point that we might be
It's the
more
whole-
likely to pull a trigger. But does that mean that this
okay.
is justified then?
It's the whole legal
Okay,
question.
Tom,
It's about whether or not
so
it was
Tom,
an objectively reasonable standard. So it's what would an objectively
great.
reasonable person believe this? Not
if he
did
got
someone
put back
have
on
a
duty,
idiosyncratic personal response. Yeah.
if the guy got put back on duty, is that his fault?
Well, hold on. That's
Well, that's irrelevant. We're talking about whether or not he's
Yeah,
incompetent
yeah. So let me-
and
I just wanna
acted
know what the point
responsibly.
is.
Let me-
If his superiors are also incompetent, yeah, okay, we can talk about that. The point is that Acorn guy, clearly, this is not a reasonable action of a police officer. I don't know why you're defending it, but it
I
also
didn't
wouldn't be
defend
more.
it. I said he shouldn't.
Yeah,
He probably
Yes,
shouldn't.
you
be
said, "Hey,
a
man, we all
talk
have
about
human
this
moments.
incident.
You know, it happens."
I'm
You were
saying-
I
defending it.
don't
I
even
said
remember enough about
only
Acorn. I would like to
react-
know what happened to Acorn guy though. That would be I should look that up.
It doesn't
'cause
matter
it'd
what
be-
happened after. What I was
be
asking, the
very
point was to
interesting to see if
illustrate
Should be a
that's
that
cop.
if you
or
hear
not.
an acorn hit the top of a car and you begin to unload your magazine at no
again-
one in a public street, do you not think this is unreasonable?
Well,
Yeah,
I
that is
obviously think it's
unreasonable.
unreasonable, but
Okay, it
I'd
is
like to
unreasonable.
find out if he
Okay,
kept
would
his
it be
job.
more
That would be
reasonable if he
hilarious
had
to know.
gotten hold on? Would
But-
it be more reasonable if he had gotten shot at like a month before?
Potentially, sure.
I don't
Okay,
know.
the answer is no. Like, yeah, you can understand why he might be scared, but that does not make him in the right just because he has PTSD from a completely separate incident. And now this completely unjustifiable shooting is not now justified because he heard an acorn drop because he has PTSD. In the same way that this guy, who might have been in the right in the scenario where he got dragged by a car, does not mean that he is allowed to now shoot people because he has PTSD. What that means is he's incompetent. He needs a psychic
Okay.
out. He
Hold
shouldn't
on,
be a
so
police
So wait,
officer.
wait,
Right?
wait, hold on, wait,
I'm
wait,
gonna-
hold on,
I'm gonna walk you through
hold on,
something.
wait, hold on one second. So SoyPill, if we found out that Renee had actually been attacked by officers in the past, that they had come and grabbed her car, pulled her out, like beat her up, totally unjustified, they all like got in trouble and went to jail, and she had some trauma from this, and then we find out that this is why
This
she
does- yeah,
ran
this does not
and why she
justify her
took off.
actions to flee.
Do
No,
you-
it doesn't.
Okay, all right, go ahead,
Yeah,
Grid.
you're past. Yeah, this is.
Yeah. So let me.
course
So
not.
let's. Well, Acorn guy is just a sidetrack. I was just interested in whether or not he had ever if he got fired or whatever. That'd be hilarious to find out.
They probably
But-
investigated themselves and found that he is completely viable as a cop.
We do, but we are a sum of learned experiences, right? Like, that's how we deal with things, right?
Are you
So-
aware of like the legal precedent of like a reasonable action? Like this is a thing
Yeah,
that
yeah, I'm
like,
aware. Hold
lawyers
on,
have to
you-
decide.
dude?
Okay,
You want to answer for me, or? I mean, I can.
I promise. As much as I try, I don't think I could dumb it down as much as you are.
I'm trying to dumb
Okay,
it down
go
as
ahead,
far as I
Greg.
can for you, but it's just not getting there. So so you understand that we have learned reaction, right? So and this guy was dragged because he trusted the guy that was going to get out of the car. He reached in the car. The guy drove off, and literally that's why this officer he didn't do anything particularly stupid. He just made a slight judgment error in trusting someone for a split second, and the guy drove off and did in fact drag him.
I don't know what happened in
like
this
400
first
yards or
scenario.
some stupid thing like that.
Yeah,
And
I don't know what
but I
happened
don't
in the
know.
first
I
scenario,
don't know
whether or
that
not he was acting
that would
properly.
incur something resembling PTSD. That might be that, hey, I'm never going to put my fucking arm in a window again. You
Okay, but
know,
I'll
like
stand
I'm
in
not
front
doing
of the
that
car.
shit. And I'm not going to
Twice.
be, so we are a sum of our learned experiences. And I think that trying to label things PTSD or say, well, he may not have even been qualified to have been back on the street is kind of, I mean, that first of all, it's lowbrow, and
I'm saying he's
you're
not
better than
qualified
that.
to be
I
back
don't
on
know
the
why you're
street
going there.
if we're using his past experience as justification for him unloading 3 bullets into a person that is on the side of him at this point.
But
That is
nobody's
what I'm
done
saying.
that. I haven't done that.
Hold on. Doesn't
not-
the first bullet go through the front of the windshield?
It does.
Where's his body?
Yeah.
In
What's
front
of
what's
it.
this
The side,
claim
okay,
of-
yeah.
Well, we went over the video
He's
just a
right-
little
he-
bit
no, no,
ago.
Okay, hold on.
Right.
So physics here. So right-handed, you can't be on the side of the car and go through the windshield. I mean,
Well,
Yeah,
hold on,
let's
wait,
have, like,
hold on,
straight
wait,
lines.
hold on.
he's not
We
John Wick. He's
did.
not curving bullets
Hold
and
on,
shit.
hold on.
Okay, so I did some fucking yoga
So
with
wait,
these. Watch your right hand,
hold
you'll be relaxed
on.
Oh, yoga?
Hold on.
I like that. That was good. I
Stop,
like
stop.
that yoga.
Stop. Okay, so we did go over the video just a little bit ago. We did all kind of agree that his feet were on the side of the car when the first shot went off. So it does seem as
Did
though
they
he
acknowledge
is
that? I don't even
leaning
know if they
into the
did.
car. Well, I thought Grid did. I thought that we can.
He's still in- I mean, he's
Joe
still-
wasn't here. So
Not-
yeah, well, so
he's not
that is the
firmly in
point, is
front
that
of the
he
car.
would be leaning on the car front, like his feet are on the side, but he is leaning on the hood as he takes the first shot.
'cause you hit
And so that, yeah, we
Like, I'm
can
clear of that
pull it up
speaker over
again
there, but I can
for
bring my right
Joe.
hand over and touch it. Like, Fuck me.
We'll just we can pull it up again for Joe if that's contention for you, Joe. We can play it
maybe he hasn't
again
been
just
seeing
to
it.
make sure that
Let's
you
just
see the
I've seen it
footage that we're
before,
looking
like,
at.
he got grazed by the car either way, and like if he's on the side of him, I still don't see like how the first bullet goes directly through the front.
Okay.
Okay, real
okay.
quick, we do have
Wait, no,
some
wait,
super
Tom,
chats. We gotta
Tom,
hold
hey,
on.
no,
wait,
we
wait,
have to
wait.
address this,
I
'cause this is
promise. No,
insane.
no, no. Hold
Please,
on,
please.
hold on. We'll go right back to it. I promise. We got a couple of super chats. We got an hour left in the show, guys. If you want to send some super chats or questions for anybody, you can send them through a link in my chat. We only have 2 right now. So $20 from Aaron M Sound. He said can't figure out if Grid1 is bad faith or just hasn't seen the complete video. Bootlicker or confused? Hard to say. Grid, do you want to respond to that?
I've seen a bunch of videos, and I've given my opinion on the ones that from my perspective. I'm not a bootlicker. I think the cop made some mistakes. I mean, he really did. He should have. There was no need for him to, once he had the license plate number, he should have backed his partner up. I've said that. I don't understand kind of why he was met. Maybe you know what, it could be that he was trying to keep an eye on the other woman, and because you have 2 people and you don't know who has what. She could have had a concealed weapon, and he's just kind of trying to make sure that she's not doing something weird. I don't know. Cops have a hard job. There's a reason I'm not a cop. So I don't know. I think the guy did a pretty good job. Other than, I don't think that. I think once a decision had been made to arrest him, whether there are two nitpicks that I have, once his decision had been made to arrest the driver, the first officer at the door should have said, "Turn the vehicle off," and he didn't do that. We know the vehicle was in parked when they approached, so she had to have put it in reverse. And at that point, the officer at the door should have drawn his weapon and said, "Stop! Put the vehicle in park."
Wait, before he was even in
Hold
danger
on,
for his
I'm
life,
not
he should have
finished
pulled the
yet.
gun and pointed it at her?
If you are going to flee my arrest, then yes, because there's people in front of you. If you are fleeing, you're endangering everyone. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
She was already reversing.
Hold on. I'm trying to finish, guys. You guys.
Okay, try to
can't
wrap it
control
up
yourselves. I
quickly.
understand.
Yeah,
for 5 minutes
just
and
hold
I
on. Yeah,
just
try to land quickly, Grid.
Yeah, so I haven't been talking for 5 minutes, but the second, the officer that did get hit, he should have, once his partner had made the decision to detain them, he should have had the wife in handcuffs already. Like I understand that this played out in a very weird way. And again, these guys are, they're federal agents. They're not traffic cops. They're not detectives. They're not anything. They have a very specialized job to do. I'm going to cut them a little slack for that. But as far as police officers, they didn't do it. I mean, this comes down to a traffic stop that was just not handled very well.
Okay. All right. We're going to read the second one. I'm going to let you, LonerBox, respond to this one, and then we'll go back to you to SoyPill to continue what it was before. But this one is from Brick.
Question, yeah.
This is from Brick Petitions 101 for 199. He said, "Officer created jeopardy isn't an excuse for safety." Do you agree with that, LonerBox?
As far as I know, that's like a fairly new thing that they've been exploring. I say new. It's been around since about 2011. I know that in Minnesota, they would consider that because they've considered that in previous case law as well, where cops put themselves into
explain what that is?
Shouldn't. So when people are determining, so in general, it's the overall circumstances that determine whether or not an officer had a reasonable belief to fear for their life or to use deadly force. Usually that'll be the severity of the crime or what's happening in the moment or the intent, the perceived intent of the drivers. That's why people who very slowly try to escape like a traffic block after they just ended a high-speed chase and they start slowly moving the car again. Cops have fired into the car even when no one's in danger immediately because it's not worth allowing the high-speed chase to continue. It's too dangerous. officer created jeopardy is this idea that it would also consider things that the police officers do themselves in violation of protocol to put themselves into a dangerous situation. And an example here of officer created jeopardy would be the car is moving before he walks in front of it, which would obviously, and obviously the way that they're talking to her and everything else might contribute to the situation. So I don't know
Okay,
about
so
how it works legally, but it makes sense. But I think absent that, it's still not justified.
just quickly, I do see this in the chat a bunch of people keep saying like they weren't legally allowed to conduct traffic stops. From my understanding, this wasn't a traffic stop. That she was blocking the road. She was there for over 4 minutes. She was following around the ICE officers for a long period before that. And even the claim from ICE, from DHS, and from the Trump administration has been that she was obstructing. And so they do have a right to detain people over obstruction. SoyPill or LonerBox, do either one of you disagree that she was blocking the road or that she may have been obstructing?
I think she was probably there to like be annoying, maybe even disrupt
be a
them.
nuisance
But it was
to
also
them.
clear that
Yeah.
one, they could have gone around her because another car did, and two, she's waving them around. So at worst, she was like,
Sure, but the question
"I'm making
isn't
your life a little
about
harder,"
that.
Not
The
she's-
question is about whether or not this is a traffic stop. Like, we don't think this is a
it's not
traffic stop. We all agree
but
they
the
were
reason
there
we keep
because she
bringing
was
up traffic
obstructing.
stop
Yes.
is because it's the same kind of scenario of person in a car that might be idling, and you're walking up to this car, and there's a reason why cops go up and they approach from behind and the sides, right? That's the only reason.
The argument is that
no, it's not.
No. The argument from like that keeps being brought up in chat, as I said, is I'm addressing something that keeps being brought up in chats where they keep saying that they don't have the right to detain her because they don't have a right to enforce traffic stops. And so I'm saying we all agree this was not a traffic stop. They were stopping her because she was obstructing. Yes.
I mean, the courts have been fairly clear that while they cannot affect the actual arrest, they can detain someone doing these things until the police actually show up to arrest them. That's been pretty clear for a few decades now. So.
Okay, so SoyPill, you wanted to go back to your question earlier. Did I wait too long?
So our friends were confused by geometry, so I'm going to share my screen because this is I don't understand why this is so difficult.
Okay, you guys are killing me.
Let
with
me know when you
screen
can
sharing.
see. And just in case, this is also a car.
Wait! Stop what you're doing, Soy. Stop 1 second.
Oh, did I not
need
put
to
the
ask.
peg nose on him?
I just put that away.
Yeah. Oh, do you
Bury
have a
it.
better one?
I just
Okay,
need no. Just bring it back in a second. I just need to ask Kungfu Joe because you said earlier, what part of the windscreen was hit? Where's the bullet hole? Is it in like which quadrant? Is it in like the middle, the left third, the right third? How would you describe where it is?
Probably. Well, I didn't look at the very exact spot, but it looks like it's like toward the bottom corner.
It's like an inch away from the bottom corner, right? An inch in, barely. Okay, just checking. All right, you can continue.
Okay. I can show my beautiful drawing. Okay. So,
just
no,
please for the last screen share. It's killing.
Right, I'm sorry, but just to be clear,
my boxes.
Do you understand?
Was there, he knows.
Do you see? No, I just watched the video because I have eyes.
Right?
Do you see how? Do you see how this guy is to the side, and do you see how he can still shoot into the front of the car? Is this like impossible?
You had a
or do you think this is
bird's eye
not
view.
possible?
Well, hold on, Joe. Wait, Joe. Hold on. Wait. Joe, we don't have to. Joe, we all agree. Yes, we're all here to have a conversation about something that none of us were there for. So we all only have the same perspectives from videos. Yes, Joe.
Insane speculation.
No. This is
well, we're going to hold on. We're going based on like evidence in the videos, right? So we're going to like reference the videos. If you disagree with what he's showing you, hold on. Stop. Hold on, Joe. We're all referencing the videos. If you disagree with what he's referencing and say that it happened differently, you're free to do that. But we're all coming from the same perspective of looking at the video. Yes.
Just saying that angle is nowhere in any of the footage, right?
Wait,
it's like
okay,
just to be clear,
I'm not asking you to say this is exactly what happened.
You were literally earlier saying.
Yeah.
No. One thing. You were literally earlier interpreting "Drive Baby Drive" as a Thelma and Louise tone. Like, you can still watch a video and infer things or talk about like geometry. What the fuck? Anyway.
What?
Okay, no,
Dude,
really quickly. The reason I'm drawing this, Joe,
away.
is not to say this is exactly what happened. The reason I'm drawing this is you said, how could the bullet go into the front if he was standing to the side? Do you acknowledge that it is possible for his feet to not be in front of the car and a bullet to go through the windshield here?
No, I'm saying that's fine, and then it hits her also. I mean, I
Yes.
guess
Is this
It
possible?
I don't know. Like it.
I'm not
I
saying it
guess.
definitely happened. I'm just asking you to acknowledge that you can
Well, this
Sure.
shoot
is
through a windshield
this is
and
why
ride with
I
the
I
display.
offered to pull up the video again earlier to show that his feet were on the side, leaning over the front of the car, so that we could see that
Yeah,
that
I mean,
was
it
generally
obviously hit
the.
him because
No,
he
it's
went from
fine.
in front to side.
That's fine.
What?
Also, apparently she
My-
said drive baby's got a gun, not drive baby drive. So you editorialized that as well. Whoops.
To
Why do
be
you
fair,
think
I heard it
telling
that way
telling
too.
her to drive at all is fucking stupid. I would say, like, if I look at this event, it's like a collapsing of dominoes to me. There's one domino, the first domino has to fall before the other ones do. So I think the most morally like culpable person is probably the wife saying drive, right? That sets the whole
Wait,
chaos in
who has the
motion.
most onus in any police interaction? Is it the random civilian or the police officer? Like, who should have more
That's not
responsibility?
that job is up to the courts. What I'm talking about
No, no, no,
here
no,
is
no.
just
Not in this
general.
scenario. In general, do you expect the person who has the training and the ability to kill legally to have more responsibility, or the civilian?
No, that he has a responsibility. That's why if she's
More
about to
than
take
the
off,
civilian, yes or no?
if she, yeah, more than the civilian. So if she's about to
Okay.
take off and flee the scene and become a public danger now, I think it's well within their right to stop her before she turns in that car into a weapon against
Oh.
civilians.
Okay, wait.
That's
So even if
is
she
that
didn't,
not a
even if they
possibility?
didn't fear for their life, if they thought she was going to be a danger just because she's driving away, they should have shot her.
Sometimes that is the case. Sometimes
That
they
is
use
sometimes
Not
the
sometimes
case.
in this
In
case.
this,
That's
in this
actually
case,
that's actually been held up.
That-
Your partner
I am
just
aware
said
that
that
this
earlier.
is a thing that can happen in other cases. I'm asking you in this
Wait,
case.
wait,
would
wait,
you have
wait. What
justified
the
it?
fuck did you just do, Grid? When did I say it's been held up like that? What situations?
You literally said a few moments ago that when a car has been stopped after a high-speed chase and it moves forward even incrementally,
Yeah.
shots have been fired into that because
What did I say? And what's the one thing I said that would make this completely different from those examples?
I'm not really sure what makes it
Did you
completely
fu-
different. Please,
What is this fucking
reiterate
selective
it.
memory
No,
you have?
no,
That
please,
was in the
please,
context of someone
tell
who
me,
had reached a
LonerBox,
police.
tell
please
me.
reiterate it.
That was in the context of someone who had reached a police barricade, stopped after a high-speed
Sure.
chase where they'd been going at 100
Yeah.
miles an hour
Okay.
for like 5 minutes, and then they're about to start
Sure.
again. And then at
Okay.
that rate, you're like, okay, this person is stop talking. This person's probably
So
going to be
someone that's
going 100 miles an hour
obviously-
again, and they
Hold
will
on, hold on,
obviously
Grid. Let
not
him finish. Let
follow
him
the
finish.
police
individual.
orders. Who is
Hold on,
obviously
Grid. Let him
agitated,
finish.
Who has
Do you
said,
think that
drive,
you think the
baby,
significant
drive,
variable there? You think
and
the
who
significant
is spun
variable
out
there?
on the ice, hold on. Honestly, you don't think that that's public endangerment if that officer allows that vehicle to drive away?
The entire fucking police system in every reasonable country in the
That's
world
not what I
disagrees
asked
with
you.
you.
That's not what I asked you.
I'm just
It's a
answering it right now.
It's a very specific question. I'd love for you to answer it. Is it public endangerment for the officer to allow that vehicle to drive away knowing what he knows?
Is
No.
it like any public endangerment? Kind of.
Oh my
Yeah. Wait,
God,
hang on.
dude.
Do you think do you think that it's protocol to fire on everyone who drives away from
No,
cops then?
I didn't say
Full
that. I said,
obfuscation.
given
think it
this
should be.
very
Answer the damn question.
specific situation, given that she's obviously very, very agitated, she has thrown her car into reverse, she is spun out on the ice, and he hears, drive, baby, drive. She's
Yeah.
evading arrest because she will not get out of the vehicle and taking a vehicle from park into drive.
You're just describing what I
That's
said. Driving away
the
from
sum
cops.
of those
Yeah.
things. Now now let's just say that this happened to me. Let's say that I was the officer and I said, you know what? I'm not going to stop this person. I'm not going to attempt to stop this person. I'm going to let them drive away. And 2 blocks down the road, this ridiculously overly aggressive woman runs over a bunch of school kids. Am I the officer at fault for that, for allowing that to happen?
If you
Do I
what, if
share
you let someone-
responsibility for allowing that to happen?
Because
Yeah,
it
LonerBox,
depends
let
on
me
what.
ask you,
it
do you
depe-
think she would have only gone like a block
I
down the
can
street and
only I
stopped?
can only handle
Hold
one
on,
fucking
hold on.
privilege
Yeah,
at a
let
time.
him answer
I'm
the
just
question
curious.
real
I
quick.
really
I can
wanna know.
only do one fucking childminder job at a
understand.
time. Jesus Christ. Okay, so first of all, it depends on what you know and the moment. So if you pull someone over for like a traffic stop or for like a toll violation or something, and then they're like, fuck you, I'm not really interested in this, and they drive off, and you've got generally a cop, and you do not disagree with this unless you're a fucking idiot, a cop would be advised to let them go, take their their license plate, and find them and arrest them later, or send them like for a different way, because a high-speed chase is public endangerment. Whereas if someone just drives away from the cops and the cops make it clear they're not going to follow them,
you're
then they
avoiding the
won't
question
go
I
high
asked
speed.
you. I asked you a very specific question. Let me repeat it. Given this woman's state, had he just somehow gotten
No,
out of the
he
way,
would
or
not
maybe he
be.
just took
I'm
it.
obviously
Maybe he
saying
just
he
took
would
the
not be
hit.
culpable. He would not be culpable if she drove off and then just decided to go on a
He just
fucking
ran over a
joyride
bunch
and-
of school kids because she
Yes,
can't
he would
see
not
because
be.
she's.
Yes, he would not be
Wait,
culpable.
hold
because
on,
what he
hold
knew
on.
at the time.
Interesting.
Yes,
Hold on,
because what-
Grid.
I think
Wait,
you're
wait,
full of shit.
so
Are you
hold on,
fucking
wait,
serious?
wait,
Like,
wait,
you're full of
hold
shit,
on,
and I
hold
think
on,
you know
hold
you're
on,
full of shit.
hold on, hold on, hold on,
Wait,
Grid.
wait, no,
He's
no, no,
he's
wait,
asking. No, I need to clarify this real quick because Grid. He's stating like what the standard is. You initially asked about the standard. He stated what he believes the standard to be. And he's saying that there would have to be evidence that she is driving recklessly and that she might hit somebody before they can make that determination. Do you disagree with his statement that they would need that forethought in order to make that determination?
They would need to have a good reason to believe that she might do something like that based on.
Wait,
How
LonerBox,
about
have you seen
disobeying
the
orders,
angle?
bro?
Have you seen the angle?
Okay,
Hold
wait,
on,
wait.
I'm asking.
love
Hold
you.
on, I
Kung
need
Fu
Grid to
Joe.
answer the question, please. Hold on, I need Grid to answer the question in order for this to move forward. Grid, do you disagree with the fact that they would need that evidence before they can make that determination?
I think they had enough evidence. That's my point. She was
Well, that's it.
agitated.
So the answer is yes.
She drove off.
She
Was
wasn't
fleeing the
agitated. She
scene
was saying,
of
"I'm
a
not
very.
mad."
So hold on. She was fleeing the scene of what originally was a very minor issue. She escalated this. Her and her wife escalated this at every possible occasion. There was no. As the officers are trying to say,
said
"Hey,
the officers fucked up by not telling her to turn the car off," and you're saying the guy.
I do agree. I can. Both things can be true at the same time. Both things can be true at the same time. Just because the officers fucked up doesn't mean the other people didn't fuck up.
You're implying
but what you're saying.
No. You guys are dodging and evading. You know that if that had happened, if it was me in that car and I drove off and I plowed over a bunch of school kids because I was crying and I couldn't see and all of that, you would want that officer hung because he didn't do his job.
Okay, so hold on, Grid. Wait, hold on. I didn't get an answer to my question. And I named. Hold on, Grid. Hold on, Grid. Hold on. I'm asking you. So you agree with the standard that he set up? Yes, that they would have to have evidence. Yes, you're saying yes. And then you're saying that they have that evidence at the time. Yes.
Yes.
And the evidence is that they were escalating. Okay. Hold on, hold on. You're saying that the evidence is that they were escalating, and that they. Okay, and so you believe that is evidence of like some sort of like recklessness from them to where the cops would believe. Okay, so LonerBox, why do you disagree with that?
Well, because that sounds like if they had enough evidence to believe that she would be a public danger, the question is whether or not they're enough of a public danger. Yeah, the question is whether or not they're enough of a public danger to use deadly force on them, which is why sometimes a joyrider will stop and then start again slowly, even if no one's in their way, and it's still okay to shoot them because they've shown that they're willing to drive at 100 miles an hour. But you guys both sound like you're saying that this person in particular, had given them enough information to make that risk enough for them. So that's why I'm asking.
He showed up.
Wait, I
yes,
really want to ask.
That's why I'm asking you, Kung Fu Joe. That's why I want to ask
videos.
you this very simple question. And that sounds like then every time someone mouths off at a cop and then drives away when they're not supposed to, the cop will be liable to shoot them. No?
No, this is a totally different scenario. These are ICE officers.
What did she mouthed off at him and then she drove off?
Hold on, dude, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to reply to your fucking question, dumb fuck. Okay, so like these are ICE officers, and these are people who are directly in opposition to them, and they're making it known that they're there to protest and fuck with their whole thing. They've already made it known they're there to disobey. Okay, I think we have, and a lot of these people have already been dangerous towards the cops. There's no reason not to think that these people could be dangerous.
Okay, Tom.
Okay, so hang on. Wait, fucking one question then. So even if the cop wasn't in the way of the car, You think they'd still be justified to shoot her then if she drove off?
Okay.
No?
If what?
Yes or
If
no?
the-
If
Let's
there
say
was
that
no
so
cop
you
in front of the
think that
car,
she gave them enough
Possibly.
information to convince
Possibly.
them reasonably that
Possibly.
she was a threat. Possibly. You're a fucking retard.
Possibly.
Like you.
Well,
I don't
hold
know,
on, hold on,
dude,
hold on.
you
I
don't
didn't
fucking
say.
know.
You're
Hold on,
logic
hold on.
there.
Yeah, hold-
You're saying there's
how
some
long
logic
is the
then.
video?
Joe, give me
How
a
long
second.
is the
logic.
video?
If
By your
gentlemen,
logic, then you'd be
Gentlemen.
okay if dozens of people were shot and killed on January 6th.
Gentlemen,
right? Dozens
if-
of protesters.
It's not the same. Is that,
Yeah,
if
it's,
I-
yeah,
if
but
I
yeah,
may-
Hold
in
on,
fact,
let,
there was a
hold
lot
on,
more
let Grid,
injuries,
hold on,
right?
let Grid
deserve to get
respond.
shot?
Hold on, let
Did
Grid
Adam
respond.
Abbott deserve
Stop.
to get shot?
Joe,
Yes?
Joe. Hold on, Joe. Let Grid respond.
You don't think she did? Wait, why not? She wasn't.
Hold on, LonerBox, let
if I may.
Grid
Fulfill your
respond.
criteria.
I would like to actually, because I think you guys are coming at this
Double
from
standard
two
is so
different
fucking
points of view,
insane,
and I
man. What the
want to try and kind of get this get the hypothetical back kind of on track here.
Just to be clear, there's a lot more internal bleeding on January 6th than there was from this guy, right? There were cops with broken ribs and shit like that. Yeah, fuck.
So when we look at in the hypothetical I gave you, I didn't say that the cop would have to. Matter of fact, I gave you the hypothetical that he didn't do anything; he just let her go. She mows down some kids. You would want that cop. You'd be like, "Hey, why didn't he stop her? He had the opportunity to
No,
stop
I
her."
would not
Wait,
be. That's
wait,
a
wait.
really stupid thing to
Okay,
do. There was
okay,
no
maybe you
reason to
personally
go for a
wouldn't,
high-speed chase
but I believe
for
that-
that severity
can I-
of crime.
Grid, can I ask my clarifying question? I really need to know.
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
you see
yeah.
my
Go
screen?
ahead. I'll finish
You,
in a
you
second.
can
Go
see my
ahead.
screen, right, Grid?
I can if I do this.
All right, you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, seriously,
Okay,
please, for the
so
last
I
time,
didn't
we
see. I
gotta
didn't see
stop
all
with
the
the
videos,
screen
but
shares.
like, was there like a group of school children here? I didn't see that angle. Is that a thing that I didn't see?
It's a hypothetical. Do you understand how hypotheticals work?
I'm aware of how a hypothetical works, but just to be
I-
clear, if
Wait,
there
it's not a
was-
hypothetical.
If there
Wait, it was
a
not a
group of school
hypothetical.
ch-
We were talking
it was
about
a- it was a
justification as to
hypothetical.
I
whether
was
or
giving a
not.
hypothetical.
He was giving a
No,
hypothetical.
you were.
And to be
Wait,
clear,
the
Tom.
no, he wasn't
Tom,
giving a
gave
hypothetical. Hold
Yes,
on.
he literally
He
was,
didn't.
Tom.
He
literally
didn't.
gave
He
a
didn't.
hypothetical.
He said that she was driving recklessly, and that they had to see this forethought that
And hit
she
a group
might
of
do
kids.
this. Which the thing was that she might hit a group of kids. That's not a
Yes, it's
hypothetical.
called-
That is like what it is that the officers are shooting her
Well,
to avoid. That's not a hypothetical. That's
Yeah.
literally justification for the
Well,
shooting.
I mean, well, no. In this case, she hit him. So, but I'm saying that even let's just take away that he never shot at her, nothing like that. I'm just curious with to the depths of how much cope we're going to get in here. So, if you are if an officer allows someone to flee and they do something, public outcry against that officer is going to be pretty high.
Yeah, it depends on what reasonable justification they would assume. Do you think they had any reason to believe that she was going to mow down a group of kids?
She was
If you-
escalating
and
the
if you say
situation.
anything but no, you are delusionally retarded. Like, how could you possibly think that's what they
She was
expected her to do?
she escalated a situation she didn't need to escalate. She made a conscious decision to pull the car out of park, put it into reverse, back up, drive away at a high rate of speed, which she didn't get to do because she almost hit a cop and he ended that. But had she would have fled at a high rate of speed, which I don't know. Maybe that's okay by you. You good with that? You good from
Okay,
people
two
running
things.
from cops?
One,
Is that
just to be
something
clear,
wrong?
obviously, no, they had no reason to believe she was going to mow down a bunch of kids. But two, if there was a group of kids, like there was in my paint drawing, she would have hit them because after they shot her, she had no control of the car, and her car barreled into that car down the street.
Right.
So
We're
no.
taking away the fact we're saying that you
Dude, what
guys
the
did
fuck?
you guys are right and they didn't shoot and they just held their fire and she drove off. Would the cops
This is
have
so
been
bad
right in
faith,
doing
dude.
You
This
keep
is so-
saying that you guys keep saying, well, you don't think it justifies X. You don't think this. You don't think that. And yet, when we give you a hypothetical, you won't engage with a hypothetical because you know that had something happened, had she hit a bus full of puppies or a carload full of cheerleaders or what the fuck ever, you guys would have been literally
engaged with your
screaming for
hypothetical,
that
Grid.
cop's balls
Grid,
on a platter.
No, we engaged
you
with
would.
her hypothetical. If she had left this scene and then 2 blocks down had hit a car full of puppies, I don't think the cop would be liable because they had no reason to believe she was going to go plow through a car full of puppies trying to evade them. That's insane, and that's why it doesn't justify shooting her.
You don't fucking know that, dude. You don't know how far she would have gone. You don't know how much fucking damage
Oh my
she
You're
would have
right.
God.
done.
Women,
Have
women
you
are
ever seen a
unpredictable. They
fucking
can't
high
drive.
speed-
They're crying. They can't see. They don't know what they're doing.
Well,
They could've
Joe, he
killed
didn't
Doesn't
say
anyone.
matter
that they
who it
wouldn't
was.
hit the
It doesn't
puppies.
matter.
So,
Why we
well,
talk
hold
about
on,
what's
Joe. Hold
reasonable.
on.
I mean,
You
look,
fucking
if
idiot.
that,
Hold on,
honestly,
wait. Hold on,
if
hold on,
that's
hold
your
on, hold on,
position,
hold on, Grid,
fine.
hold on.
Fine.
Joe, they didn't say that that she would not have hit puppies. They didn't say that she wasn't going to do it. They said that the guy wouldn't be held responsible if she had. Maybe she would have, but there's like, I don't know of any case law or any scenarios where cops are ever held responsible for something like that if they don't have because normally even cops are told not to hit cars to make them turn over. And hold on. But Joe, do you think, I want to ask you, do you think it's more likely that she's going to hit people if she's alive or dead?
I mean, like if you look at the street where she was, it depends. Like how far is she gonna get? She's on a street that's not too active, and if
To
you
be clear,
stop her
Joe,
there,
for you to say
if you
alive,
stop
she
her,
would have
hold
to
on, dude, shut the fuck
intentionally
up.
hit them.
Yes, right, correct. She would like she could get away, drive at a high rate of speed, lose, control of her car because they're on the fucking ice, right? And that could result in God knows what. If she barely managed to skid away after she's getting shot, then her chances of causing great damage are going to be much lower than if they let her get away at an even higher velocity of speed. You don't know that she would have perfect control of her
Why do you keep
vehicle.
saying this?
That's
You don't know
fucking stupid.
you don't know if every person you pull off for a fucking traffic stop is actually
Yeah.
Ted Bundy, right?
Yeah,
Like,
by
you don't
this
treat them
logic,
that way though.
All I know,
any broken
no,
taillight check, you should just shoot them if they drive off. Every single one.
I'll give
Yeah,
you
apparently.
Tom.
I don't think he even realizes that's
you
what
an
he's saying though. This
example.
guy's just a fucking retard. He's actually like dribbling out of the ears.
Dude, you're just.
I can see bits of brain
You're
like
not-
leaking out. You don't know what she would have done. Yeah, no shit, dumb fuck. We don't know what she would have done. But at the end of the day, you have to talk about what's objective, what's reasonable. Is it reasonable to believe that with traffic stops, I'm sure it's happened. There have probably been people who have mouthed off at cops, been a dickhead, driven away, and the cop hasn't pursued them. And then as a result, that person went off and killed 2 people. This did happen in the UK, actually. But what you do is you have to consider what does the cop know at the time. So sometimes, most of the time, you're generally not encouraged to do a high-speed chase because unless the stakes are quite high, chasing someone in a car is a bad idea.
It's
It's 2
perfectly
vehicles,
reasonable
3
to see
vehicles.
that they're fucking radicals, dude. It's perfectly fucking reasonable.
Oh, they're
that these two
radicals.
people are
Oh,
fucking
irregardless of
so
that,
you are
like,
MAGA then, right?
all right,
You'd be
irregardless-
No, I'm not
look,
MAGA.
hold on,
Actually.
The people
hold
at,
I'm not
the people at
MAGA,
Jan 6 were
actually.
radicals, weren't they? They were talking about hanging Mike Pence. Why didn't cops open fire on 100 people there? Why not?
They did. They shot him with rubber bullets in the face.
Oh,
Would you have had an
Wow.
issue if they used live fire then, given your standards for this case?
They used live fire on that.
They did. Yeah, Ashley Babbitt got live fire.
There was more.
Well, there were far
one
more
person,
people
not
doing
Did you
even
guys
live
agree
fire.
with
There
the
were more
Ashley
people
Babbitt?
because
right?
there
You
was
guys-
more-
Did you agree with the Ashley
all
Babbitt
hung
case?
up over Ashley
There was
Babbitt,
more-
right?
There was more bodily
Well, no,
harm
did you
on
guys
January
agree with the
6th, right?
Ashley
There was more
Babbitt
severe bodily
case?
harm against cops on January 6th. You agree?
I'm sorry. There
There was
other people
more
talking.
severe bodily
Go ahead.
harm and risk of people dying on January 6th than there was in this case.
Well, one person did die on January.
There were
6th.
more cops in danger, so would you have been okay if they fired at more protesters? Because more protesters had weapons. There were lots of protesters there who were saying radical shit and had weapons. You'd have been okay if the cops fired on dozens of people and killed them by their
Cops
standards?
Did fire on people with rubber bullets.
No, with
Can
live
you engage?
ammunition.
I understand why you
hypothetical.
can't engage with that question because you realize how much it
Well,
completely
no,
fucks
I'm
every argument
engaging
you've
with
made
it.
here.
But
If
cops
they
did
used
actually
live
fire with non-lethal.
What if they used? And I'm asking.
Yeah,
you
but there's a big
hypothetical.
difference
What if they
between
because
used
they had
firing with
time. You know
lethal
why
and
they were.
non-lethal.
You know why
What if
they
used live
engaged
fire?
with
What if they used
non-lethals?
live fire?
Do you,
What if
do
they
you
used
know
live fire?
why they?
What if
Do you
they
know
used live
why
fire?
they engaged with
What if
non-lethals?
they
You don't.
used
You don't
live
know
fire?
why, do you? Because they had the time to.
He's
Because they
asking you a
weren't.
question.
They literally were not. Literally were not about to get run over with a vehicle. This guy didn't. This guy could have probably. Well,
There were
I guess
cops who were
not use a
literally on
taser,
the
but
ground. Like, what were we
Yeah,
talking
also to be
about?
clear, you're not justifying it from the vehicle point right now. You're saying, well, we don't know what would have happened after, so even if he was to the side, it's justified. And LonerBox is asking you, by this standard, knowing all these people were threatening police officers, and we have video footage of them beating them, that those officers would be justified in gunning them down with live ammunition. Would that be the same case for you, the same standard?
There's that black riot officer who's literally like 5 feet away from protesters walking towards him, and he's on his own. and he's luring them. But again, he doesn't know that they're not just going to lunge forward and kill him. So
Well, hold on. Let Grid answer the question.
In his rights
Grid,
to open fire on them.
Grid, can you
Wait, what?
answer Soy? Grid, can you answer Soy's question?
It's LonerBox's question, to be fair, but yeah.
Well, yeah,
Which
you
question?
were reiterating the
There were
question.
like
Can you-
several questions in a
because they
row
don't-
there.
No,
Which
the one question, which is you've refused to engage with, is on January 6th, if these cops know that there's violent intent, they've already seen them commit violence.
already
and they
answered
don't know
that.
what no, you haven't. Why?
They did. They
wouldn't
did
they-
engage
Your
with
answer was-
non-lethals,
hold on,
and
wait,
I
wait, wait,
even
wait,
told
wait.
you
Hold
why
on.
they engaged with
Hold on,
non-lethals.
hold on, wait, wait, hold
I'm gonna
on,
try
hold
this
on,
one
hold
more
on,
time.
hold
I'm
on,
gonna say
hold on,
real
hold
slow
on,
so you can hear
Soy,
me, okay?
hold on
Tom,
one
no, I'm
second,
gonna
hold
try.
on, Soy,
All right, Tom,
hold on,
watch
hold
this.
on, hold on,
Okay.
Soy, hold on, hold on. Saying what they did is an answer to the question. He's asking about whether or not they ought to have, whether or not they should have. So he's asking for an ought, like should they have done this? Saying they did doesn't matter. It's whether or not they ought to have used
You're
lethal
asking me for
rounds
the
on these
ought
people.
claim?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. If an officer is in fear for his life, yeah, he ought have shot them.
Okay, so you are admitting that the police officers on January 6th should have live gunned down as many riders as they had fear of.
Again, if the officer legitimately had a fear for his life, they ought have shot them.
Wow. Well, they showed
There was
incredible
more legitimate
restraint on
fear
that
for
day.
life for the cops on January 6th than there was in
That's
this instance. So.
consistent. You guys can't say
Well,
that's
so
not consistent.
okay, so then,
Yeah,
so,
but it's
okay,
also
so then
retarded
SoyPill.
because I wouldn't even say this, and I think all those
So
people
Okay.
would
wait,
be
just
in
to,
jail.
just,
so.
to be,
So-
just to do the
well,
basics.
no-
Hold on.
Ashley Babbitt
I
absolutely
believe that
had to have done, right?
anybody that's in fear of their life ought shoot the person that has them in fear of their life.
Yeah, it sounds like you
Okay.
think that more January 6th people like Ashley Babbitt should have been gunned down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on, SoyPill. Do you
That's all
think
of-
Ashley Babbitt should have
Humphrey
been
would've been
gunned
fine.
down? Do you think her
Ashley
shooting
Babbitt
was justified?
a very important exception of, hey, not only is she trying to get into this place, she's being told to retreat. She's climbing over a glass barrier and a bunch of stacked chairs to a bunch of congressmen who are trying to evacuate and getting verbal orders to back down and not listening. Yeah, she should have been shot for that, absolutely. But I think that there are more justifiable cases where they could have been shot outside and they weren't, and like, thank God they're alive, right? Like that these
Okay, so-
officers were able to know their
So,
lives
hold
weren't
on.
necessarily in
An
danger.
Wait,
unarmed-
no. So Grid, hold on, Grid. Do you agree that Ashley Babbitt was justifiably shot?
What I know, it was a good shoot. I mean, she was coming at them. The
Okay.
fact that there was no weapon bothers me a lot. That the officer was in such fear of his life that with no weapon present, that bothers me a lot. But from what I,
What if she went in there and killed a bunch of puppies?
Huh?
What if there
I'm
was
just
a
kidding.
room
I'm
in
just
the
kidding.
Capitol
I'm
building
just
with a
kidding.
bunch
I'm
of
just kidding.
school children
just
and
fucking around.
puppies? And
Well,
they
to be
thought, well,
fair,
maybe if she gets
it's a-
through, she might go kill them.
You're memeing, but that actually was the argument, right? Was because that was the last line between the people.
Yeah,
and
that was
the
and that's
legislators.
why
And
that's
she was
why
willing
I'm
to lead the charge of 100
that's
people
why
behind
I
her,
can
yeah.
say that I'm okay with that. That as far as I'm aware, it's a good shoot because as far as the legend is that there were congressmen and these were the last line of defense, and that was and they it wasn't just that she was coming through as everybody else was coming through, and there's then that's it.
Okay.
But
Wait,
there's
Grid,
no
can I be
but there's
like,
no weapon there
disagree with
that
Grid.
bothers me. There should have been a
I
weapon.
genuinely appreciate the consistency. Like, I'm not even trying to be, but like, I do genuinely appreciate you saying that. Like, not a lot of right wingers would admit that about Ashley Babbitt. So the consistency I do respect. But now my question is, if you think that was a good shoot on Ashley Babbitt, do you think that had more of a justification for fear of what she might do past that barrier than if this person, the cop, was to the side of Renee Good's car and thought, oh, she might go run over a bunch of children? Do you think that was more justifiable in the Ashley Babbitt situation?
Grid, I'm gonna let you answer this question, and then we do have to move to another one. So
all
go
right,
ahead
that's
and
fine.
answer.
Yeah. So, and hypothetically, right, if the cop was to the side of the car, and he can, she does all of the same things, right? She takes the car out of park, the drive baby drive, all of that. She's constantly escalated. It's, I think at that point, if he had a decent shot, I would say that that vehicle's a weapon now, and I think that he should have shot at her.
Okay.
All right, so 6 federal. Actually, real quick, I do want to read these real quick. We got the Real Caveman for $10 on YouTube. He said, and there it is, the PKA defense. She might attack someone later, so shoot her. This completely throws out the concept of imminent threat of death or serious bodily injury. And then head for Hydra. on Twitch TV said, for $5, said, is the justification the same with 10,000 hypothetical pedophiles being driven through? I guess, Joe, if there was a possibility she was going to drive through 10,000 pedophiles, would you be upset if they had shot her? Do you think they should be charged afterwards?
Should they be charged? I don't see. I mean, I would be like, hey, great, she did that and she wiped them off, but I don't know how the two
No.
link
Joe, the
together,
question
like,
is, by shooting her because they
Yeah.
are, for whatever reason, they shot her, they've prevented her from killing 10,000 pedophiles who then go on to offend. So do you think the officers should be charged for this?
stupid fucking hypothetical, dude.
Well, I mean, is there not
very
like similar
trolly.
chances of there
Congratulations.
hitting a bunch of hypotheticals versus hitting a bunch of puppies?
I
mean,
think that just if
value
we just, it
pedophiles,
doesn't
yeah.
matter who they hit. I don't think they would have been legally hit, right? Like she would have still done that illegally.
Okay.
Right?
Fair enough. All right. So today, 6 federal prosecutors in Minnesota resigned after the Trump DOJ pressured them to stop investigating the shooting of Renee Good, and instead they wanted them to investigate Good and her fiance. The prosecutors afterwards did make statements, I believe, and said that they were told that they had to stop. Do you Grid? Do you think that they should be pressured to stop investigating the shooting of Renee Good, or do you think there should be an investigation at least to clear him or to not clear him, but one way or the other? Do you think there should be an investigation?
I mean, there's a federal investigation, right?
Well, that was they were the federal investigators.
Oh, I thought you said state. I'm sorry.
No, these are federal prosecutors in Minnesota.
I had not read that. Let me just really quickly look, because this sounds odd, but
Why does it sound odd to you, Grid?
why does it sound odd?
Yeah, why does it sound odd that the current administration, who lied demonstrably about what happened in the shooting, is pressuring the people that would otherwise investigate whether or not it was unjustified?
Why does it sound odd? Well, because if they're resigning because of something, and the reason that they're giving is pressure, but there's no proof of pressure, then I don't know, right? If they
Okay, let's say there's proof of
if
pressure.
they're fired, if they were literally fired, right, and Trump came in and said, "Hey, stop doing what you're doing," and you're all fired, that's another thing. So you're asking
Well, based on your answer,
hold on.
Wait. Would you have an issue with that?
Hold on.
I don't have any information on. So
Wait, Grid, before you wait. Hold on. Before you finish your answer, you said that we don't have proof of that. It is 7 prosecutors that quit.
Sure.
How many would you say
lying,
would be enough before you would think that it's more likely or less likely? Grid.
I'm reading. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get caught up. I try not to.
Well, here, how about this? I can play a
Tom,
quick video
please,
on it.
Tom, we don't have to. He doesn't have to read because it'll take him a while. All right. Look, Grid, you said this isn't Trump coming in and firing them, right? But what if it was? Would you be okay with that?
No, I wouldn't be okay with him just coming in and firing the federal prosecutors if they're without cause. If there's cause, sure, that's fine.
Okay,
but
what would the cause have to be?
I have no fucking clue.
Okay, well here the implication is that they're investigating the ICE officer and the pressure is coming in and saying, no, investigate the wife. If that was the cause that he gave and fired them, would you be okay with that?
If he fired them for that? No, I wouldn't be okay with it.
Okay, so you're not okay with him firing them. Now, are you okay with him putting pressure on them? If hypothetically what they're saying is true.
Yeah, I'm okay, because if he's the chief law enforcement officer in the country, and if he says, hey, stop looking at that and look at that, and you disobey that, and you decide, hey, you know what, I don't want to do that anymore, and you quit, then I don't actually have a problem with that.
Do you have a problem with the administration basically just making up their mind about what happened before there's any investigation, and also lying about the person who got killed? Kirsty Noem and Vance have both called her a domestic terrorist. Is that appropriate?
I don't know that she's a terrorist or not, so I don't.
Do you
know
think
if
they
that's
know?
appropriate or not.
God, it's so fucking spineless, man. Not MAGA, by the way. Not MAGA. I don't know if she's really. Do you think Vance
Okay,
knows?
well,
Do you think
Loner,
Kirsty
it's
Noem
okay
knows
if you
she's
put
domestic
the
You know?
terrorist?
pressure
Hold
on
on,
them.
hold on, hold
Is
on.
she being
hold
charged
on.
with domestic
Do
terrorism?
Do you know? Are you telling me that you know?
I know they have no evidence for it. Do they have any evidence? Have they said they
Well,
have evidence? Are
they
they
have
charging
evidence
her?
that she's part of a group that tracks ICE.
Is that a group that tracks ICE? What to
She was
protest?
there.
Is that
She was
domestic
there to
terrorism?
protest and apparently a very odd way.
How did
Hey,
this
do you think
happen?
there's like
It's
So why would-
frogs in
why-
front of?
so
Wait, do
you're
you think
saying
there's
that you
frog-
don't
wait,
want
no,
that
Grid,
person?
Grid,
Hold on,
Grid,
hold on,
Grid.
hold on. Stop.
No, Grid, you hold on.
You're
You
saying
hold
that
on.
you
Do
don't
think-
want that
Grid, please,
person
Grid,
investigated.
Grid. Do you think the frogs outside the ICE agency in Portland? Do you think those are domestic terrorists?
I'm sorry, what?
The frogs, the people in frog costumes in Portland. Do you think those are domestic terrorists?
I have no fucking clue.
Well, hold on. They're part of a group that may or may not track ICE and protest.
Are they? Did they do what this
Were
lady
they
did?
involved in a shooting? Yeah.
Yeah. Are they? Are they
do you mean
involved in a
involved in a
shooting? Are they?
shooting? She
Are
got
they?
shot
Are
at.
they
What do you
literally
mean?
interfering in ICE operations?
No, they
She got
didn't
shot
get
by a
shot
cop.
in
She was
the head.
unarmed.
Hold on,
She was
hold on. I
involved in a
actually really
shooting.
want the
Domestic
fucking
terrorism.
answer to my actual question. You two
Yes, the
spineless
answer.
wimps.
Grid.
Do
the answer
you
is-
think?
the answer is-
Do you think that they should not investigate this woman and her wife?
I think it's fine to investigate them, but it's clear
Okay.
they're getting pressure to not investigate the ICE officer who did the killing. So I think
You
this
see what
is
the
a
Martin
very
Bailey
much.
is there as well. You're saying we should investigate her. We went from calling her a domestic terrorist to, do you know she's not? What is there a 0.0001 chance that she was part of fucking like Hamas America? I don't know, maybe, but realistically, how can you? So how many?
Hold on,
so
hold on. If
not
I
MAGA.
gave
Just
you
like,
this,
hang on, I'm not
this
finished, I'm not finished,
information,
I'm
you
not finished,
guys
I'm not
would
finished.
fucking
Hold on,
cry.
hold on. Let
This is
LonerBox
all
finish
hearsay
real quick.
bullshit.
Hold on,
There's no
hold on. Let
corroborating
LonerBox
evidence
finish.
at
I'm going
all.
to recap everything that the administration
Hold on,
has said
let
so far
LonerBox
as
finish real
not
quick.
MAGA, but you agree with Trump that it's a miracle that he's still alive. You agree that she intentionally, recklessly, and violently ran him over, and that you also believe that, oh, well, it's not inappropriate for Vance and Kirsty Noem to call them domestic terrorists. Not MAGA, by the way. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, whatever. Do you or do you not think that it's okay for them to investigate these people?
No one said anything about
Okay.
investigating them. Of course
Why
you
do
can
you have a
investigate
problem with
someone.
Trump putting pressure on the prosecutors to investigate those people?
Okay,
Over
Because
the
he's
cop.
already-
We already know
because
what the
the
cop did.
administration
Like
is
the
already
cop,
smearing
and
her as a domestic
there's internal things that are investigating a cop. Why are you so concerned about this? What is the and by the way,
You think
by the
he's
way,
telling
by the
them,
way,
my memory
I
is not
don't
like
really
yours.
give a shit about these prosecutors. They're just lawyers, and lawyers do shit all weird all the time. So I really don't care about these prosecutors. And just the statements that they've made in this article that I'm reading. I don't know how accurate it is, but it's just like we said this, and once federal prosecutors said it won't be easy remaining assistant U.S. attorneys to press ahead with the fraud cases and all that. These are Minnesota people that are not Trump people. You're acting like these are Trump loyalists who suddenly stabbed him in the back because he doesn't want
no one said
to
this.
do that.
No, not a single person claimed that, Grid.
But that's what that was the framing.
No, the framing was
they
people that
don't
are in
like this
charge
pressure.
of getting to the truth of the matter are being told by the administration, who
We
has
don't know
already
that that's
shown
again.
that
These
is
are
their
what
job.
they,
Grid,
this is what they're
please, you're being
claiming.
so obtuse, it like hurts.
This
my
is
head,
what
like, a
they're
little bit,
claiming, but I
can't
have no
believe you're this
evidence of
fucking
that
slow.
claim.
I want to ask a question. So,
Do you understand what
Grid,
hearsay is? Do you guys
Grid,
know what
if I,
hearsay is?
Grid, if
No,
I
I've never heard of it.
hypothetically,
What's that?
if I
Well, apparently you
hypothetically-
haven't, because this is what this.
Hold on, let
if I
LonerBox go ahead and
hypothetically,
ask your
shat
question.
in your mom's face and said, and then you called me out for it, and I said, "Oh, what? So I just have to hold it in. I just can't shit ever." You think I'm making a dishonest argument when I say that, right? Yes or no?
I mean, it's an odd argument, sure.
It would be a dishonest argument. I'm not
I would think
engaging with
so.
what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, wait,
So when I
LonerBox, he did say
there's a
earlier
problem
that
with
they're
no
being
one
investigated,
contending
though.
directly
When I
with what you're
when I
saying. You guys just
when
don't
I
like
say-
it.
When I
Just
say
because
there's
you
a
don't
problem
like it
with
doesn't
no
make it
Vance,
the
when I'm
reality.
saying there's a problem with Noman Vance, not saying we should investigate, but saying she is a domestic terrorist, and you say, "Oh, what?
And
you
he
don't think
can
we should
say that.
investigate her?"
He can be
And you
wrong
say,
about it.
"Oh, you
What's
don't
your
think we should
problem with that?
investigate her?" Oh, really? You think it's appropriate for the government to be giving opinions like that on someone who's just died?
Governments give opinions every day. You just don't like his opinions.
Really?
his
What are you saying
Why?
without an
Why?
investigation?
It's
Like
their
they
administration
should
just wanted to
wait
do an investigation.
after an
Also, we're going to
investigation
tell you
is what
already
he's
that
saying.
they're a domestic terrorist. Can't imagine why that would be inappropriate legally.
So LonerBox,
Well,
Grid
hold on,
did
but
say
that
earlier
doesn't
that
answer my
wait,
fucking
wait,
question.
wait,
You
Grid,
guys
It's also a
Grid,
lie, to be
yes,
clear.
Grid,
It's
hold
also a
on,
lie.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
Is it a
on.
lie?
Okay, so Grid did say
We
earlier that
don't know
they're
that that's
like
that she's not.
No,
that
it's a
they're
lie.
hold on,
It's a lie.
hold
we
on.
do not know that. You
Hold on.
don't
If
know.
I
that.
call if I call 100 people in the streets pedophiles, I'm not correct just because one of them happened to be. You have to have evidence for a claim. Otherwise, it's a lie.
All right,
If I go into a
Tom,
football
what do you got?
stadium and I call everyone a pedophile, and it turns out I find out later on that one of them actually was I correct? No.
I'm sorry, Tom. What were you saying?
I'm just watching your brain try to fucking process that.
Well, so he is asking like if they should wait until they have if it's responsible for them to make statements about this and give conclusions about the outcome before there's a full investigation. Do you think that that's like good or responsible for them to do?
And that's one of my big problems with basically all of the administrations lately is that they just say things before they have any knowledge, testimony, anything like that. It's not just Trump. It's basically fucking everybody. Everybody's so in a big hurry to be on the news, to get the sound clip, to get the sound bite out there. It's fucking appalling. So I have no problem calling out JD Vance for shooting his mouth off and saying something before he has the facts for it. But that has nothing to fucking do with the claim that these prosecutors are making, which is not backed up by anything but a press release and a news article.
Grid, how can you say it has nothing to do with it when you are admitting now?
You understand that that's fucking. It's just hearsay. There's no evidence. There's nothing.
No.
You guys are saying shit. It does make a difference.
I thought, Grid, I thought you just said a
difference.
second ago that you didn't have a problem with him making a statement about this and giving his opinion when those prosecutors would be doing the same thing, wouldn't they?
Yeah, that's fine.
No, Grid, you said just now, you acknowledged JD Vance shot his mouth off, and we are saying lied, because that is what he did. He obfuscated the facts of this case before he knew what happened. He lied about it, and you're saying this has nothing to do with those same people who lied about this case, pressuring federal prosecutors to not investigate the person that they're lying about? You don't think this is at all related?
I don't think that there's any. You know what? I would love to see the proof of the pressure. I want to see the notes from the White House to these prosecutors saying, "Don't investigate this."
Okay, and if you saw them and they existed,
yeah, then I would call out Trump 24/7. But you can't produce them because they don't exist.
Oh, so now you're claiming for a fact it didn't happen.
No, I'm just calling it before you do it.
You just said it didn't exist.
I'm calling it in the air. Calling it in the air because, and I'll wait. I'm very patient.
How much, Grid? How much you want? You want $100 bet right now that there is credible evidence that these people have been pressured. Go get it. What do you mean, go get it?
Go find the evidence.
But he's saying, I think he's saying it's going to come in the future.
If the evidence comes out, you owe me $100, and if it doesn't come out, let's say
no. Right now, you are asked me about you asked me about the claim.
You made a prediction. I'm
not making a prediction. I'm saying that there's no evidence to this at this moment.
On it, dude. Like, what do you want? Fuck. Whatever, dude. I can't. Like,
well, SoyPill. So earlier,
I don't know what to
go
do.
get it.
Earlier, you asked Grid whether or not he was okay with them pressuring the prosecutors, and he did say that there was already an investigation. If there, according to Christine Nome, the FBI is already investigating the shooting of from the officer and that entire scenario from that perspective. So if these DHS these DHS prosecutors are supposed to be investigating something else, and they have the FBI handling that aspect, but these these federal prosecutors continue to investigate anyways, do you have a problem with them pressuring them to move on to the other thing that they want them to move on to? Well, hold on. I want SoyPill to answer the question.
Yes, I have a problem with the pressure coming down from the people who lied about it, saying don't investigate this further, who said this man is, everything is exculpatory before having the facts of the case. Yes, I don't trust them to put pressure on the people who may discover that that is not the case. Not at all.
So you're saying if they say that the FBI is investigating this already,
if Christine Nome says a thing after she just lied about this case and says, actually, they're handling it. The people that are, fucking run by Kash Patel, the most incompetent moron that's ever run the FBI. Yeah, I don't trust them. I'm not okay with it.
And Joe, do you do you trust the FBI to investigate this?
Do I trust them to? Or what do you mean? What are you asking? Like
Do you
I
trust
just
How
the
to be any
Trump
more clear?
DOJ? Do you
no,
trust?
I'm saying like
Hold on. I'm reiterating. Do you trust Kash Patel's DOJ or sorry FBI to investigate the shooting of Renee Good when it seemed as first when Kristi Noem came out with a statement, already making a statement, she's put out on a plaque on her podium that said, "One of ours, all of yours." Like she seems to have already come to a pretty concrete conclusion on this. Do you trust them to actually do a fair investigation of this scenario?
Yeah, I don't know if I do. It feels like government overreach a little bit. I don't like it being politicized. I think that the law should just be exhausted and everything should be investigated without any kind of political bias.
Do you think that the administration is engaging in political bias by weighing in on a case that they don't know the facts about and lying about it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, as long as you're not cool with that, because I think that's awful. So
I'm not cool with it.
And Grid, how did you feel about the plaque saying "One of ours, all of yours"?
Wait, what? Who said that?
How did the Kristi Noem did a press conference recently with a plaque put on the front of her podium that said "One of ours, all of yours"?
I didn't see that, so I don't understand the context of that.
She's saying the ICE officer is one of ours, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means
That's what the implication would be. She
I
was
only
there
just heard
talking
it now,
about
but
the
yeah,
ICE
it's right,
shooting,
that's
and then
obvious. Yeah, okay.
yeah, there are a bunch of statements from lefties on like TikTok and crap like that trying to state that this is a Nazi slogan from SS officers and crap like that. That's totally untrue. It is just from everything that I've read, that is fully debunked and just complete bullshit. But it does seem to be an implication that they are going to war with the left or the people who are protesting them, that they are kind of grouping them all together and saying, you took one of ours, so we're going to take all of yours.
Yeah, I have no idea. I will say that I think that the governors that are trying to put state agencies against federal agencies are doing the wrong thing. I certainly believe in states' rights over, federal overreach. But when it's a clear federal jurisdiction, the locals need to either stand aside or get pushed aside. I don't know that the FBI is really, I mean, I guess the FBI is the only real agency that they have that can investigate this, other than maybe the,
federal
U.S.
prosecutors
Marshals or
the
which
federal
they're not really
prosecutors.
investigators that much anymore. But yeah, I mean, certainly you don't want, DHS or Border Patrol or whatever to investigate their literal sister agency, where they share a lot of staffing. It's an interesting thing. I can certainly see the territorial nonsense that between agencies, between federal and state prosecutors, leaning on their federal prosecutors to push harder in specific directions. But I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, the best, I have a real problem with all of the knee-jerk responses from our politicians lately, and it's they really have to get their facts straight before they start talking. And that goes
just
for all
to be clear, that I'm looking at it right now. The lectern said one of ours, all of yours, as if to say like you take one of our guys, we'll take all of yours, as if like a billion eyes for an eye. Is that the idea?
It's collective punishment is like the implication.
It's so fucking mad that you've got someone basically saying that, like, and
But
all
hold
of
on,
your
guys.
eyes for one of ours, and then the
Hold
response
on.
we get from Grid is just like, well, I believe it's states' rights, and there are some really interesting questions about the division of powers and the separation
I
of
said I
the
don't
Constitution
know
of
anything
the
about
three
the sign.
branches, and I don't know,
haven't seen
politicians
it.
are just a
Hey,
little.
hold on.
care.
Look, I don't think it's
And why?
unreasonable.
You don't get to
I
do
don't think
that.
it's
I've never heard about that. Someone saying something like that. It's like
I don't
that's a
think it's
Mike Johnson
unreasonable
defense.
to see that both sides are gonna. If you flip a few things,
Can you imagine
in this
if
scenario?
like
Well, hold on, LonerBox.
I
Let Joe respond.
I'm just saying, like, we just know that politics are gonna politic. Like they're gonna. What's that
That
old
is not
saying? Like
politics politicking,
never,
you fucking
never
idiot,
let
man. What
a
are you
you
talking
never,
about?
dude. Shut up, you cum guzzling cunt. I'm fucking talking. All right.
Well, careful
All
with the
right.
naughty words. You're gonna get banned off Kick too, dude.
Yeah, right, dude.
Didn't
Anyway,
know he knew about me and his
well,
mom's cum.
this guy, dude, you look like you actually fucking polished dome, bro. I wouldn't be talking. But
Only a
anyway,
motherfucker.
like if
Got
you
him, bro.
switch some
Wait, what's
things
wrong with a
around,
polished dome?
if you flip a few things around, then they're going to politicize the other way too. Let's say if we flipped the script, right? Let's say if we had Democrats in office and there was some kind of like BLM protest and some white supremacists showed up and they were told by the cops like, hey, this is a protected parade. Can you turn around? Could you not menace it around here? And they like, disagreed with the cops, tried to film them, mouthed off to them, and then right when they're backing up, I guess, and the friend gets in and says, let's go, boys, white power, when they're saying get the fuck out of the car, and there's a black lady cop in front of the white supremacist and she pops a shot off or whatever. Yeah, I think if you flip those scenarios around, the Democrats are going to be like, you see, this is what happens, like, this kind of radicalization, blah blah blah, these were white supremacist terrorists, this and that. The politics, that's what they're going to do. They're
be
going
clear,
Yeah,
to
your
even in
whole
your
argument is what if the
hypothetical-
Democrats were as unhinged as MAGA? I'm sorry, this didn't happen though. Like, imagine if after January 6th you see fucking Merrick Garland going up and giving a fucking conference, and then there's a fucking lectern or a big sign behind him saying, "Fuck around, find out, eye for an eye, Babbitt." Like, sorry, that would be fucking mental,
they
and
do
we
say
would
fuck
never.
around and find out about
No,
Babbitt.
Merrick Garland doesn't say that.
You
Some
are.
Democrats do, but you will
Really?
never see an elected politician
Wow.
saying anything remotely close to this because we're not
Merrick
fucking
Garland said,
unhinged.
"Fuck around and find out."
I'm not protecting. To be clear,
The day that
I'm
it
not
happened.
defending. I'm not defending Trump's administration. That's what all I'm
Oh
saying
yeah,
is that
we're all-
both
but you
sides
just said,
do it.
imagine if the
Wait.
Democrats did it. You
Both
just
sides
imagine
do
if the
it.
Democrats.
Both sides.
What?
Both
Okay.
sides do
What is
that.
the equivalent of the Democrats after a Republican has just been killed saying one of ours, all of yours, eye for an eye, bitch, fuck around, fight? Where the fuck are we seeing this from a Democrat like head
After
of
a
office?
Republican has been killed,
Yeah.
and the Democrats are saying fuck around and
And
find
Merrick
out?
Garland has a big fucking sign in his press conference saying "fuck around, find out," or one of ours, all of yours, or eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Get fuck. Where are we seeing that? When has that ever happened? That hasn't happened.
Well,
From a
yeah, something
politician.
just like this hasn't happened, right? Because we're not a country currently swarming with a
Anything-
bunch of white supremacists. We're swarming with a bunch of crazy fucking leftists that are out there causing the most violence. in the
Joe, he
streets on
said
cars.
in response to January 6th, which is the thing that happened actually.
Yeah. Was there any
No,
Merrick
that
Garland fuck around, find out for Ashley Babbitt? One of ours. That's so
No.
fucking crazy, man. That's like one of the maddest
No,
things
for
I've ever
this
seen.
one guy, no, I haven't seen that. Yeah, but there was plenty of, Democrats and left-leaning people who are like, yeah, fuck
A
around.
single?
and
Can you
find
name a
out,
single
dumb
politician?
bitch.
Any politicians? Yeah.
Not off the top of my
No,
not
you
at all.
because it
can't.
doesn't-
So
I
Joe,
mean,
we know
you do
that
under,
like a
hold
machine
on,
would
Joe.
be all
Wait,
over
wait,
it.
wait, 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 wait. Hold
I'm
on,
not
Joe.
defending
You're
the
trying to say
You
that
are
you're
you.
trying
Hold
to
on,
say the
Joe. You
Democrats
do
the
keep
same, but
saying
you have
hold on.
examples.
Yeah,
You see what we
Joe,
mean
you
by,
do
like,
keep
not
saying you're
MAGA,
not
but we're kind of
defending it.
defending them. Like,
I'm
Yeah,
saying,
you hold
I'm
on,
saying
hold
I
on,
could
Joe,
see a
Joe.
hypothetical where you
Hold on,
flip a few
hold on,
things and it's a
hold on.
different outcome.
hold on, Joe. So you understand? Like, yes, you are saying you're not defending it, and they are pointing out like a difference in leadership, right? So when we're talking about like politicians who are running the country, people who we would all like hold accountable, some random person on TikTok, yeah, we can all say it's bad, but like these aren't people who like we elected to a public office. And so when somebody who's actually in office says these things, it's very different because these are actual like leaders within our country that are held to a very different standard than some 15-year-old on TikTok. And so like when we're talking about what it is that they're saying, they're asking you like, do you see an actual equivocation between what it is that Democrats say and what it is that the Trump administration says?
The ones they're the ones actually equivocating though, because I'm talking about a hypothetical and they're asking me, well, when did that really happen? Right? Like, no, dumb fuck.
Right,
listen
but the
to
point
me.
is you
It's
have to invent a
hypothetical.
scenario where this keeps happening from the right? Like there's a clear difference in standards from the politicians where one of them is willing to say insane shit and the
No,
Democrats
I'm
aren't.
I'm talking about just this incident. If you
Mhm.
flipped a few things, it's very possible, hypothetically, that they could weaponize it politically the other way.
Mhm.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying they've
All
done
right.
it. I'm not saying this or that. It's a
Application, it hasn't
hypothetical.
happened. If you keep saying it's possible hypothetically,
All right.
yeah.
It's
And
a
then the
hypothetical,
last thing,
dipshit.
last
Oh, it happened in the
again, if you guys
hypothetical.
want to
Okay, got it.
ask, we're gonna wrap up here shortly. If you guys have any questions, again, you can send those questions through super chats or through the link in my chat. But after the shooting of Renee Good, we saw a lot of videos coming out of ICE officers going up to cars and going up to people who were protesting, saying things like, haven't you learned your lesson? You need to stop following us. You need to stop filming us, grabbing their phones and saying like, you
This
don't
is why
want
that
what happened to
lesbian bitch
her
got
to
shot.
happen
I
to
think I saw
you.
one.
Yeah, so, stuff like that. Obviously the implication is that they're trying to stop people from protesting. But SoyPill, do you think if there are people who continue to impede them from like making arrests, if they're even honking horns to where it's hard for people to understand their orders or hear what it is they're saying, even these scenarios could create more high tense scenarios where things like this are more likely to happen. Do you think that these officers are unjustified for trying to dissuade these people from doing things like this?
To be clear, I think the language you used there was incredibly soft. Are the officers unjustified to dissuade people from protesting? No, if they're like, hey, you need to get out of here, or like, hey, move your car, lady, or can you stop honking? I'm trying to do my, bullshit, rounding up of people. Maybe. But that's not what's happening, because you just described the videos of them going up and being like, oh, we fucking killed her and we'll do it to you too. Haven't you learned your lesson? Absolutely not. This is fucking insane, unhinged behavior from people who have no business holding a weapon, who have no business having any authority over anyone. And I'm fully on the abolish ICE train now. I think there's no reforming this. They need to go the fuck away. We'll have a different organization do immigration enforcement, because these people are fucking crazy.
Boy, so woke based.
What do you think, Grid?
Is there actually a video of somebody going up there and saying that?
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 of them now.
No, like
since this
SoyPill
happened. I don't know. I think
paraphrase,
one of
but
them
there
he
was
was being a little bit more
definitely,
hyperbolic.
let me find that one.
What was actually said?
Well, there's
So
several.
there's a couple of
I'm
them where they
combining
say things
several.
like, there's a couple of them where they say, didn't you guys learn your lesson after the last one? There's one where they say, you don't want what happened to her to happen to you too. There's a number of them now where they kind of say something alluding to, if you keep doing what you're doing now, you will end up like Renee Good.
Is that not the case though?
That's what I'm asking you.
I mean, it would seem to be the case that if you attack armed men, you might potentially get shot in the face.
Or if you don't attack them.
Yeah, or if you drive away from them. That's crazy. Hey, I just linked it. This is hearsay. To be fair, this is someone describing them saying it to them. That calling her a lesbian bitch was not on video, according to this person. This is her repeating. So she could be embellishing. I'll admit that.
But yeah, to people who obviously think that the shooting is unjustified and there isn't even a full investigation out again, it might seem a bit insensitive, or even as though you're threatening to murder people if they consider this murder. If you're saying what happened to this person could happen to you, seems as though to a lot of these people, they feel as though they're being threatened with murder.
I mean, I think it honestly, to me, it seems fairly simple, right? I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Right?
Just in case that wasn't clear, Tom, what he's saying is I'd rather have the jury exonerate me and or not than get carried out in a coffin by 6 people.
Yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, right? I mean, look, you have officers getting treated very poorly, which, I mean, they signed up for. I'm not excusing their behavior at all, but people are people. Some people have bad days.
You're literally just excuse the behavior, by the way, immediately after saying that. That's what excusing their behavior means.
Isn't it? Were they saying this to people who were rioting or to protesters?
They're saying this to protesters, and I think 2 of the videos that I'm quoting were of people in cars who were following them. One was of a protester where the woman was holding a phone.
They're not. Wait, so these people who are getting these warnings they're not attacking cops?
No, they're
Not all of
filming
them,
them,
anyway.
which is even more
Yeah.
dangerous. In fact,
So-
based on that criteria, I think this guy was threatening this woman's life. He had a camera pointed directly at her face, right?
Yeah, and some phones and communication devices can explode,
That's true.
hypothetically.
All right. I'll let you guys all give a closing statement before we head out, and then also make sure to shout out your channels and let everybody know where they can find you. We will start off with LonerBox.
It's kind of easy to lose sight over what ICE is even trying to do. I mean, Trump's had a year. It doesn't seem like this whole idea that they've been talking about getting rid of all of the illegals is ever really coming close to fruition. I don't really know what their goal is. Apparently, there are like 14 million odd illegal immigrants in the United States, as the estimates, and that's not even to mention 30 million of whom came under Biden maths. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like whatever's going on with that institution, it just needs to go, and they need to start again until we can find out what the hell is going on. Fucked.
All right, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I just, in general, I don't really trust the cops offhand to make best judgments. I don't really trust law enforcement very much. If I'm going to give advice to somebody who's like my friend or family, my advice with dealing with cops is going to be just do what they say. Don't resist, right? And I think that is just the major failure here is that um, you are acting aggressive around people with guns who deal with some of the worst of humanity on a daily basis. And a lot of people, I don't think they take that into account when they decide to mouth off or resist a cop's orders. I just think in general, that is always a bad idea. What's going to happen legally down the road is going to be figured out by better minds than myself. I just think in general, it is incredibly stupid to mouth off or like be aggressive towards the guy with the gun. It's not even justified, really. If it's a robber holding you up at gunpoint, you should still listen and just hand over your fucking wallet. So that's my general advice. This seems like just another sad game of, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
All right, and where can people find you again?
I'm at Kungfu Joe _ on Twitch, but I'm on a 7-day ban at the moment. I'll be back soon.
Wait,
can
on
find me
Twitch
on
is your
Twitter
profile picture the same as Discord? It's the one where you're in the Burger King crown where the
Yeah.
guy says the N-word? Okay, cool. Just checking.
Yep.
All right, SoyPill.
Yeah, this is so ridiculous. I mean, it's very clear to me that the administration is lying about this, that they're pressuring people to not investigate this mishandling by ICE. And if this was an isolated incident, by the way, I don't think these people came into here and they're like, yeah, I can't wait to shoot that woman. I think this is a perfect storm of untrained people in high stress scenarios, and we put all of the onus on the people that are getting shot at, getting strangled to death, getting ripped out of their cars, being locked up unjustly, and none of the onus on the people that are supposed to be like have the responsibility to carry weapons and potentially legally kill people. It's insane to me. ICE has shown time and time again that they're incompetent, that they're going and doing things that they shouldn't be. They're locking up people. They're evading due process. Like, it's just this whole big mess of an institution. And in the same way that it's poison to say abolish the police, because I don't think we should abolish the police. We need to enforce the law. I thought in saying abolish ICE was some like, hey, this is completely untenable. But there's a reason now that there's like more than 50% support for this. It's because this is fucking insane, and these people need to disappear, and there should be Nuremberg trials for these fucking crazy retards, and also physical fitness tests, because God, are they so fat. I'm the SoyPill. You can find me at the SoyPill. Thanks for tuning in.
Awesome, appreciate it. And Grid.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tom. First of all, normally I would say that I'm the only person who could make the little speech I'm about to make, but Tom has told me some things that he might have been in the same situation. But I'm pretty sure I'm, other than potentially Tom, I'm the only person on the panel that has actually had an officer pull their gun on them and look down the barrel of that son of a bitch. And, you know, I did exactly what the cop said, and I didn't get shot. I was a young man at the time, full of vim and vigor. But I didn't get shot because I did what I was told to do, and I kept things very calm. Seems like one of the things we lack in this country is any damn common sense, and I think we've proven it here tonight listening to SoyPill and the LonerBox. Common sense is no longer common, and they are not common at all. I do appreciate engaging with them, though. I always like engaging with SoyPill. SoyPill's got a lot of oomph, and I like that. It's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun tonight. Thanks. It was really good. I honestly didn't. I prepared in the opposite direction tonight, Tom. So I was like, half of this I was out to fucking lunch, which is fine. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, don't fuck around with cops. I don't like cops. I understand they got a tough job. I know a lot of cops. I don't like them. I don't have any friends that are cops. I have cops that are, you know, they're acquaintances. But I know that given the motivation, they will put me in fucking handcuffs or worse. So I don't give them that. It seems like we've lost a little bit of direction in this country, and we need to get it back. You can point at Trump. It's a good target. You can't miss him. But well, you guys should try harder. Be better. Elevate a little bit. I can be found at An Unreasonable Man on YouTube and Twitch, sometimes Rumble. And I just launched a new channel, Gun Prattle, where I talk about competitive shooting and all things firearm related several times a week. Again, Tom, it's great being on the show, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate all you guys coming. Just to clarify, I have not had guns from cops pointed at me. I've had guns from regular people pointed at me, but I was attacked by officers. I did comply. I did everything they told me to. They shattered my kneecap and tried to kill me. So I don't. But in general, I will always. Yes, I will always advise people to do what it is that the cop says. I like understand that my scenario is a freak scenario. That is not the majority of the time. Most of the time, you are best off complying and doing what it is that the officers tell you to. That's not all the time, but most of the time that is what I would recommend. But I do appreciate everybody coming. I know on my side I had a lot of production problems. I apologize for that. This is the first one that we're doing. The idea is to have a higher production quality, and so that's the part that we're trying to work on, and we're going to have to make some adjustments going forward, but we'll definitely get there. And I appreciate everybody showing up. Appreciate you guys coming and doing this, and we'll do more panels hopefully in the future. So hope to invite you guys back. Thanks for showing up.
Yep, it's a good time.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank
Y'all
you.
have a good one.
Yep.
Later.
You too.
Have it.
Thanks, Tom.